Is the greatest president ever's birthday. President Trump's birthday is today. Of course, we're excited about that. And a lot to talk about. All right, 6 seconds.
Any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All righty, welcome to the program, everyone. It is Friday, June 14th, 2024. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. We've got a lot to cover today. A lot has happened since we left yesterday. And, of course, today is also President Trump's birthday, which is very exciting. And we've got so much to get into. Oh, yes, and it's Friday. That means it's open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mic Friday. One of our listeners, Christine in Pennsylvania, came up with the idea of calling Open Phone Friday Open MAGA Mic Friday because I didn't want to take Rush Limbaugh's thing of Open Phone Friday and start using that. And Christine came up with that quite some time ago. It's pretty good. Open MAGA Mic Friday. And on Friday's show, any and everything on your mind is fair game. Completely open phones. And hopefully you'll make it interesting. The other 4 days a week, we ask you to talk about the topics that we bring up. But Friday's the day that, as Rush Limbaugh said, we turn this show over to rank amateurs. And you decide what we talk about on Friday's show. Although I do have a bunch of stuff I do want to bring up. And hopefully you'll find it interesting enough to comment on what I bring up as well. Our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening. Okay, this story about Joe Biden's dog biting people all the time. I mean, every member of the Biden family is out of control, including his dogs, plural, because both dogs were biting people all the time, including Secret Service. And I know quite a bit about dogs. I've had a lot of dogs. I have adopted shelter dogs of different ages, puppies and adults. And I had an incident happen after Hurricane Katrina with a grown adult dog that I adopted that had been rescued from New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina way back when. Long time ago, huh? It's been almost 20 years. Was it 2005? What year was Katrina? And the problem I had with the dog that I adopted from the Tri-County Humane Society in Boca that came from New Orleans, I think is the same problem that people are having with the Biden dogs. And before I explain this to you, I want to tell you that I'm not joking and I'm not trying to be funny. There's a reason why both of these dogs of the Bidens have been biting people. And to illustrate, I'll tell you about the dog I got from New Orleans. Now, after Hurricane Katrina, a lot of dogs were homeless in New Orleans, and humane societies from all over America took these dogs in. And they had a whole bunch of them at the Tri-County Humane Society in Boca, where I've adopted many dogs. My 17-year-old dog, Nina, that just passed away, we got her from the Tri-County Humane Society. We've gotten great dogs there. So this is an outlier. It's a great place to get dogs. And I always tell people, if you're going to get a dog, you want to get a dog for the Humane Society, but take your time and go visit the Tri-County Humane Society in Boca. And you get great dogs there because Grandma and Grandpa die, the kids and grandkids, they want the money, they want the condo, they want the cars, but they don't want the dogs. And my dog Nina that just died, had her for 17 years. She was, I don't know, maybe 2 years old, maybe a year old when we got her. She was a very rare breed, a wired hair pointer griffon. There's like less than 3,000 of these dogs in all of North America. Very rare breed. And if the greedy heirs of Grandma and Grandpa that died in Boca knew the value of this dog, they wouldn't have taken her to the Humane Society. So you get great dogs at the Humane Society in Boca, okay? And I tell people that all the time. You may have to go back a few times, but you'll get a great dog there. But anyway, this particular dog we got, we named her Daisy. I've had a couple of Daisy dogs. In fact, after this dog, my next dog was a Daisy who passed away a couple years ago. I had her for a long time. But anyway, we got this dog from the Humane Society in Boca that was a rescue animal from New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. And the dog was great. Great. We brought her home, though, and she did something really weird. She laid down at the front door of the house, and she wouldn't leave. She stayed at the front door. And it was very strange. And I didn't know what was going on. And I called the Humane Society, and I said, the dog, she's cute, we love her, but she won't leave the front door of the house. She lays down at the front door and looks at the door the whole time. And they told me this story, which I later found was complete BS. They made this one up on the fly, or maybe not. Maybe they told a lot of people this. They said, yeah, we're hearing this about a lot of dogs from New Orleans. And the reason that is, we think, is because these dogs were left behind when their families went to shelters because they couldn't take dogs, and they're afraid of being locked in the house and everything, so they stay at the door so they can, I'm like, whatever. And then, every time someone came over, the dog would bite them. Bite them. Bit my mother-in-law, bit some other people. Anytime. Dog was great with me and my wife and daughter, even though we only had this dog for a couple days. And she was great with us. But anyone else who came in the house, she would bite them, and she wouldn't leave the door. So, I was talking about this on the air at the time. And the phones lit up. And they told me what the problem was. Multiple callers, including police officers. Got calls on the air, police officers and other people with some sketchy backgrounds that told me what the problem was. They said I had a drug dealer's dog. They said my dog that I adopted from New Orleans was probably from one of those project places, and it was a drug dealer's dog, and they were trained to protect the dealer's stash, and anybody who came into the apartment would get bit, and now she's doing that with you. And, I mean, the phones lit up on that. I couldn't believe. A lot of people know about this kind of thing. I didn't know. So we had to actually take the dog back to the Humane Society. She was biting everybody that came over. I mean, it was very hard to do, even with that, because I love dogs. So the reason I share that story with you is I think that's the same thing that's going on with the Biden dogs. I think that there's a lot of substance abuse in this family. We know that. Hunter and his sister are in and out of rehab. They're a couple of junkies. I know a lot of people think that the cocaine was Hunter's. I think it was Joe's. And the reason I think it was Joe's is because President Trump has made multiple references in speeches that it was Joe's cocaine. And he's in the know. He's a president. He gets all the inside scoop. And I think that these dogs that Hunter's around are trained like this dog I got from New Orleans to protect the stash. And I think these are I think people that are drug dealers and drug addicts, hardcore drug addicts, I think they have dogs that are like this all the time. That's why the Biden dogs, and it's been the last two dogs, bite people all the time because they're owned by junkies and they're protecting whatever they got stashed away. And I'm not trying to be funny or cute or clever or come up with some unique analysis of it. I think that's exactly what's going on. And I don't think the media are leaving this out. I don't think this is a common thing. If I had not had this experience with this Hurricane Katrina New Orleans dog, I never would have known about it either. I would have just thought these were irresponsible dog owners who never properly trained the dog. But I think the opposite is true. I think these dogs have been trained perfectly for the Biden family. They're drug dogs. And, yeah, I know, that's crazy. That is what is running this country. I want you to think about that. And and this thing that happened with Joe. And by the way, if you've got any thoughts on that, you're welcome to call. But that's what I think's happened. Now, yesterday you saw Biden with the foreign leaders, and then he walked off. They were outside. Then he walked off out in the field and was talking to people that weren't there. And who was the lady that came and got him? Was it the Italian prime minister? I'll say this about the Italian. The Italians have the nicest clothes, always. When I see Italian tourists here in Florida, they always look great. They got the best clothes. The clothes were pretty nice. That had to be the Italian prime minister. She went and got Biden. Can you imagine what's going on in the minds of these foreign leaders? We know how checked out he is, but we're removed from it. They're right there and experiencing it. And when she went and rescued him from talking to people that weren't there, it's crazy, isn't it? It's like they were prepared for this. What kind of image does this show about America? That the Commander-in-Chief, the President of the United States, is that out of it. It's pretty frightening stuff. Now, today is also, it's not just Open MAGA Mike Friday, it is also President Trump's birthday. So if, you can call in about any and everything on your mind, but you can also call in and wish the president a happy birthday if you would like between now and 9 a.m. And you can do that too, okay? Because it's a big day, big day. All right, our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. When we get back, I'm going to jump into some other issues as well. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
What do you guys think about my drug dog theory? What do you guys think about that?
Show with Brian Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely. Happy birthday. Now, guys, make sure you like the video. When you guys like the video, that helps spread the word about the channel a lot, guys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's exactly what the deal is. What else could it be? 2 dogs. Yeah, you're not going to get that analysis anywhere else. Oh, I know. I do feel bad for the dogs. You got to feel bad for those Biden dogs.
Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire.
Thank you, Charmaine.
They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Wilkerson and the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies.
All righty, 19 minutes after the hour. You know, the end of March is our 6th annual listener cruise, and you're all invited. And, you know, last year's cruise sold out. The ship, it was sold out. And months before the trip. We never had that happen before. And this ship is filling up, too. And there are certain cabin categories that are already filled up. So I'm going to give you Ian's number at Cruise and Travel Depot. He's the travel agent that handles all our cruises. If you call now, he'll give you all the details about the cruise. It's a 7-day cruise. We're going on the Celebrity Ascent, which is the newest celebrity cruise ship, the flagship of Celebrity Cruise Lines for 7 days. The last one was 8, this one's 7. And he'll go through the itinerary and everything we're doing. But if you make your reservation now, you just have to put down a small deposit. You get a better price. The earlier you book on cruises, the earlier you book, the lower the price. Okay? I know a lot of people think if you book at the end, you get a good deal. That is not the case. Towards the end, the prices shoot up even higher. It's a supply and demand issue. So you call in, you call Ian, you make a small deposit, you're locked in. Not only do you lock in the cabin, you lock in the low price. Here's his number. It's 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. That's 561-244-5779. Okay, now Democrats, do you know who Democrats hate more than anyone, even Trump? You know who? The people. They hate us. We get in the way. You know, Democrats are so self-centered, and they are so in their mind so morally superior. And, you know, this 24-hour news cycle that's going on, people are on the air all the time, and every once in a while, you'll get a little truth. They slip, and they say what is really on their mind. And this happened to Donnie Deutsch. Donnie Deutsch hates Trump like the plague. I don't know if he still is, but he was dating Marla Maples, and he had a real axe to grind with President Trump. And I don't know if they're still together or not, but I always felt that what MSNBC was doing was inappropriate. I always felt like he should have to disclose that. You know, like Fox, I was watching Fox, and they have a story on this Wall Street Journal journalist that's being held by Putin. And they disclose. The Wall Street Journal is owned by the parent company that owns this network, right? You ever heard that? They do that. So I always thought when Donnie Deutsch is bashing Trump, they should disclose that he is dating or sleeping with the president's second wife, Marla Maples, so people could understand where he was coming from. I felt like he was either echoing the pillow talk from her, or he just felt inadequate because who could compare to Donald Trump with the ladies, right? So, you know, but Donnie Deutsch, he once made a brief appearance on The Celebrity Apprentice. That one of the celebrities, I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Tom Green. I can't remember who it was. There was one celebrity on The Apprentice. They were doing a fundraiser thing, and they were friends with Donnie Deutsch, and I was surprised they knew Donnie Deutsch. Tom Green popped in my mind, but it may not be him. It could have been Teller. Which one talks? Is it Penn or Teller? Could have been whichever one. I can't remember who it was. But I was surprised they knew him. And Donnie Deutsch donated a lot of money to this guy on The Celebrity Apprentice. But he hates Trump. So he's on MSNBC, Donnie Deutsch. And he was talking, this is yesterday, he was talking about Trump visiting Capitol Hill. And by the way, all the news was reporting, they had a very false narrative going. This is the first time Donald Trump has visited Capitol Hill since January 6th. Now, the way that they say that implies that he had something to do with January 6th, or may have even been there, or was trying to get there, right? And, you know, it was. But anyway, Donnie Deutsch yesterday on MSNBC said something I've never heard Donnie Deutsch say before. The truth. Listen to this. And when what Donnie Deutsch says here is how all Democrats, all liberal Democrats, feel about us. Listen to this. This is insane. And when he says this, he doesn't even think there's anything wrong about it.
The problem is not, the real problem is not the party itself. It's the voters who are subscribing to the party. 74 million of them last time around. This time, Trump ahead in the polls, not by a lot. So the real question, and the thing that is the most troubling, and I know a lot of these Trump voters, is the party speaks for itself. They're transparent. We see it. Other than Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney, I don't think there's, and now you saw Paul Ryan, I don't think there's a Republican that has spoken outside of, and again, or against fearless leader. So what is it about, at this point, half the country that says, that's my party, I'll vote for that, that works for me? That's the troubling part, is beyond the party, is the voters that are subscribing to it.
Wow. Okay, so, yeah, so Donnie Deutsch is approving of the Republican Party. The problem isn't the Republican Party or even Trump. It's the tens of millions of people that vote for him. We're the problem. And what Donnie Deutsch is saying there is that we are enemies of this nation. We are enemies of the government. And when he says that, he goes on and on. Sometimes people will say something and say, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Not him. Not him. He's going on. And there's no one in the studio who jumps in and says, come on, Donnie, it's not the people. So what is he suggesting be done with the people? If Donnie Deutsch over at MSNBC believes that the problem with this country is not Donald Trump, but the people, that there's something wrong with us because we support and vote for him, 75 million last time, more this time, what does he want done with us? Does he want us to have our rights taken away so we can't vote? Does he want to put us in some type of re-education internment camp? What is Donnie Deutsch suggesting here? The only thing I'll give Donnie Deutsch credit for is this: honesty. Honesty. In a brief moment in time. But I don't think he meant to be so honest. I think this is an off-the-camera conversation that Democrats have all the time about us. And, you know, the reason they think this way is they think that, in particular, white people, you know, his language is coded language for white people, even though he's white. It's coded language for white people that vote for Trump. They think that white people who vote for Trump are racist, white supremacist, trailer trash, white trash, married to their cousins. And that we are hateful, we're bigoted, and we don't have enough information or intelligence to make an informed decision, and we shouldn't even be allowed to vote because we're voting wrong. That's exactly what he thinks. This is a typical New York liberal elitist, Donnie Deutsch. And I was surprised that no one on the panel jumped in. Not that the panel disagreed with him, but he was one of those things of saying the quiet part out loud. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. It is open phones today, open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind's fair game on Friday's show. You're not limited to the topics that I bring up, although I'd like to hear your thoughts on all these things, and particularly the dog thing. I think that's a really good working theory I have on the Biden dog. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast. And now, a true oldies traffic check, brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
In West Palm Beach, there's a road closure because of construction. This traffic report's sponsored by Discover. On Binghamton Boulevard, between Dixie Highway and Olive Avenue, it's closed. Construction.
This is story I wanted that I forgot to tweet. If you're on hold, hang in there. Did you guys see the pictures of the kittens I put up on YouTube yesterday? In the community section. Yeah, they are adorable. Oh my gosh. Our other cat isn't 100% used to them yet. She's getting better with them. I don't think she knew what they were at first because they're so little. Yeah, they were just laying on the topper. That's our guest bed. Had them on the MyPillow mattress topper there. I went in the room and they were just laying there like that. And I was like, oh, let me get my camera. And I went and got my phone and took that picture. I got lucky with that one. Well, I told Luna, I said she better buddy up with them because they're probably going to be bigger than her. They're both boys. But she's starting to get along better with them. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And everyone who's already subscribed, please like the video. Liking the video helps grow the channel a lot, guys. It really does. It's so important. Like the video. Oh, they love Luna. They follow her around. They saw her jump from the floor up on the bed, and they were like amazed. They're like, "Oh, can I do that?" Because right now they got to climb to get on the bed. They got to climb up the side like Spider-Man on the quilt.
Yes, all year. Zero down financing? Yes, all year. Call us today at 833 all year. That's 833 all year.
Standing tall for our freedom around the world. Let's remember them in our thoughts, prayers, and our letters from home. Their efforts abroad and in the U.S. will keep America strong. This message is courtesy of A Flag and Flagpole, dedicated to the health of our community. That's A Flag and Flagpole, 3427 Griffin Road in Fort Lauderdale. On the air because they care.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. Yes, today is not just President Trump's birthday. That's, of course, very important. It's also Flag Day, and that, by the way, that's with an L. Flag with an L. It is Flag Day as well, okay? Both days. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Ben from Pompano.
Hey, Ben.
Oh, hey, how you going? So yeah, I want to talk to you about that guy you just played. That was the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. He had such a sense of self-righteousness, and he is exactly. I think I've told you this many times before, but I used to be a Democrat, right? I switched over.
That's okay.
Too long after Trump took office, and that moral superiority is something that is so endemic to the Democratic Party, where they don't even see, just the other day, Biden and Harris just accused, Trump of giving a short press conference. He must be tired. He must be old. They do this thing where they constantly project their disgusting behavior.
Well, yesterday, President Trump had a short press conference because Biden and Zelensky were coming out in 15 minutes, and he didn't want to get cut off by the media for Zelensky and Biden. So we did the short press conference. That's why he did it.
He's Donald Trump, I know. And he always, it's not even it's a joke to begin with, because he would give impromptu 3-hour press conferences outside of Marine Force One, on the daily. So the idea, I don't think most people understand the extent to which Democrats can lie. They all know politicians can lie, but they lie to such a deep level that most people will say to themselves, oh, they can't, they can't actually be lying that much, but they do.
Trump derangement syndrome is so bad. I want to play this clip. This is not. Have you seen this thing with Jim Acosta that's circulating on social media?
No.
Listen to this. Okay. Jim Acosta is responding to something Trump said. And I'll play it, and then I'll explain to you what Trump said. But this is CNN yesterday. Jim Acosta and a couple of the lady reporters, they're talking about President Trump praising Hannibal Lecter from The Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, I'm seriously. I don't listen.
Laura, and I will note from our Melanie Zanona, who was in the room and sending some of these tidbits out, apparently the former president made reference to Hannibal Lecter and said, nice guy, quote, he even had a friend over for dinner. So we've seen Trump out on the campaign trail praising Hannibal Lecter. Apparently he did it again this morning. Not sure we fully understand the context of that, but thanks to both of you. Appreciate it. Coming up.
Okay, so this Hannibal Lecter thing, this tells you, Trump derangement syndrome's hate, and hate it has an intoxifying effect on the brain where you don't think properly. That's why when I get into debates and arguments with callers, I never get angry, because when you get angry, you lose. What Trump was talking about, he was talking about how throughout the world they're emptying out their prisons. Right? Crime is down 70% in Venezuela. In the Congo, they've emptied out their jails too. And he said they're sending cannibals, Hannibal Lecters here. And then what he said was sarcastic. Yeah, Hannibal Lecter, a nice guy. He had a friend over for dinner. And Jim Acosta hears that. He's like, oh, he's praising a serial killer. He can't even see straight. And he puts that out on CNN like it's news.
That's the thing. They do that every day. They do that every day where he says something, tongue in cheek, joking, and they'll come back and clutching their pearls, saying, I can't believe Trump said this.
It's called sarcasm. It's called sarcasm.
He's funny. I know people who don't even like Trump, but they even have to admit that he's hilarious. And that's the thing. He's not this stuffed up fake presidential figure who just gives you blows a bunch of hot air toward you.
Yeah.
He is who he is, and that's what people love about him. And that's why we think he's anti-establishment, because he's not constrained by these stupid decorum that we've had from previous establishment figures. In years past.
Yeah. Now, don't you think that Donnie Deutsch, whenever he gives any analysis on Trump on MSNBC, that he should have to disclose that he's having sex with Marla Maples? Because he's obviously he may be speaking for her. Marla Maples may think, oh man, I would have been first lady, and is really pissed about it and gets Donnie Deutsch all worked up. I don't know. But I think it's relevant when he gives analysis on Trump about that relationship.
I find that people who are that Trump deranged, whether it's Fani Willis or Letitia James or whatever, if you do enough scratching beneath this very, very close surface, you will always find some sort of corruption, some sort of infidelity, some sort of moral, moral pit hole. There is something about people who hate Trump that much. They're never good people. There's always something about them that is defective. Maybe
Marla Maples told Donnie Deutsch that the other Donnie lasts longer in bed, and he's got some insecurities about it. Who knows?
On Trump. Yeah.
That's right.
On Trump.
That's right.
But I'm glad you played that because people need to be reminded what we're up against. And people like him, he's like David Frum.
Yes.
So smug.
I mean, so Donnie Deutsch has declared that at least 75 million American voters are the problem with this country. So what does he want to do with us? Round us up?
Yeah, it's not him. And this is what I've seen in the people's response into the elections in Europe. They constantly are calling people who want secure borders, people who just love this country, a good economy. We're the problem. We're extreme right wing, not these maniacs who want men to compete in sports and who want to dismantle our energy base and want to open.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're on the right side of history. And they'll just go after our it's endless.
All right, Ben. Good call. Appreciate the call, Ben. Great call. Great comments. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah. Good morning. This is Rich.
Hey, Richie.
Listen, talk about the sarcasm. I watched every news conference President Trump had with the COVID. He was being sarcastic, and he made it basically like an off-the-cuff joke about injecting yourself with bleach. He never really meant that. They twisted everything about that. And that's been going on all these years. The president that wanted to inject bleach into you.
Yeah.
Joke.
Well, that happened yesterday when I was doing that thing on the reparations being paid by the Democrats, right? Remember Barbara from Baltimore? She was mad at me. She thought I was being serious. I was a little surprised. Sarcasm is becoming like a lost art. People aren't getting sarcasm anymore.
I want to ask you real quick, and then I got a reason to call you. Are you going to the birthday party?
I'm not saying.
It's open to the public. Mm-hmm. So, and you had to buy a ticket ahead of time.
Well, maybe you had to buy a ticket.
Well, you probably got a free one. But anyway, a happy birthday to President Trump when you just say hello. Hey, here's the deal, okay? Carolyn Glick, you know who she is?
I know the name, but I don't, not offhand, no.
She is that investigative reporter in Israel. Now, people in this country better know something. Israel pays for the weapons that they get from us.
That's right.
Give it to them. They buy them. President Trump. Now, she was on yesterday. I am shocked. He's negotiating behind Netanyahu's back, trying to make a deal with these people behind Israel's back. Netanyahu called him up, and Hezbollah, people don't realize that the northern part of Israel is not occupied at this time. They are being shelled every night. They have refugees of their own kind in their own country that had to move out of their condominiums or building, and they're...
Well, I mean, you want to look at what's going on with the Palestinians and the Israelis. Look at what's going on in this country. Yesterday we were talking about what happened at Cal State, where the Muslim Palestinians had the president of the university barricaded in her office. You see these Palestinians in this country. If you don't agree with them, it's death to you. And there's no how do you negotiate or have any compromise? The way they're behaving here is insane.
Netanyahu would not let Israel go in. Biden would not let Israel go in and go after Hezbollah. He said, "Over my dead body." You got to hear this, Carolyn Glick. She was on yesterday. She has her show. I'm going to tell you something. It's an undercutting Israel at every point. I mean, that's our only ally in the Middle East. A lot of people think we're giving Israel weapons. They're paying for them. But he's restricting them.
Listen. This is the thing, okay? There are not that many Jews in the world. I know people, they're not. In this country, the United States population is less than 4% Jewish. And I know, we have a lot of Jews in Florida, so people don't realize this, but Jews are like 3% of the population. There aren't that many, and Israel's a tiny place. And what these Muslims are trying to do is finish the Holocaust that Hitler started. They want the Jews all dead, and they want the DNA to no longer exist. I mean, supporting Israel is not the same as supporting Ukraine.
But there is something that you didn't say. That they want all the Christians dead too, and they're not making.
Well, we're next. Yeah, I mean, look at how they're behaving. They're taking. Yeah.
What do you call it? Lebanon? Was it? I didn't know this. Lebanon was an all-Christian country.
That's correct.
Overwhelming. Today, it's all Muslim. There's Christians left. Half of the Middle East was the same thing. Muslims do not want to coexist with any other.
Correct.
I'm not talking about American Muslims that are basically modernized. I'm talking about those crazy people in the middle.
I don't know, Richie, these things we're seeing on the university campuses or in front of the White House this week, those are American Muslims, and they seem to want everybody dead. It's insane.
Christians dead. So it's not just Jews out of Israel. It's out of the Middle East. And they're going to kill you. There's no way you can coexist with these people. It is impossible. And for this president that's backstabbing, and they don't report it. That's why you'd have to watch this Carolyn Glick when you.
Yeah, I've heard of her. Hey, Rich, I got to run. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our last break of the first hour and be back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, has rid me of pain from a knee injury and arthritis pain with his laser away pain treatment. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Appleton helped him with his laser away pain treatment.
You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sean. I'm calling from Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I've listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for introducing
Oh, guys, don't forget.
Appleton, Brian and Steve.
Order your Mighty Manga Lion. There's a link in the description of the video, or you can just go to the website, mightymagalion.com. Order yours. The Mighty Manga Lion, available exclusively through me. You can get this nowhere else. And for every lion sold, we donate a portion of that lion's purchase to the Trump re-election campaign. We've already made several donations from you guys buying these lions. So go to mightymagalion.com, order yours. If you order more than one, you get a discount. mightymagalion.com. There's also a link in the description of the video, all right? You can get that nowhere else except through me.
With the Steve Kane Show and the show's listeners keeps getting stronger and stronger. The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work with. We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners from...
Now, I'm not going to get specific about this, but Richie mentioned the birthday. I'm not going to get into that, but I found out yesterday that President Trump listened to the show on Monday, listened to Monday's show, and even in particular which part of the show he listened to. But I'm not going to disclose that because it was when I was talking to a particular caller, and I'm not going to tell you which caller it was because I don't want to feed their ego. But yeah, President Trump listened on Monday. I just found out yesterday. I was pretty excited. Yeah, if you want to wish happy birthday to President Trump, call in. Maybe he'll hear you. Yes, I found out late in the day yesterday. I know, it's pretty exciting. And in a particular part when that they mentioned to me that he heard is when I was talking to a particular caller, but I don't want to. It was not Richie, but I don't want to say who the caller was. I'll just say it wasn't Richie because I don't want to feed the ego of that caller. Who? Well, I'm not going to give you more details.
Justice Warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All righty. Call us on hold. Stand by. 48 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I want to talk about the great American patriot, Mr. Mike Lindell, the inventor of the MyPillow. You know, he invented that patented fill that's inside. It's amazing. When I got that first MyPillow, it changed my life. You know, we got them on as a sponsor of the program after that. Mike Lindell followed me on Twitter. And my wife reached out to him, and Mike Lindell personally made the decision to advertise on this program. He called his marketing people and set it up. He's been with us for many years. And I've been talking to you guys so much about the MyPillow mattress topper because it is the most amazing thing you'll ever have. The MyPillow mattress topper, there's different kinds, and they're all on sale, as much as 50% off. And with our promo code Kane, they come in every mattress size, as much as 50% off, no less than 40% off. If you get the 2.0, which is a 3-inch mattress topper, that's 40% off. The 2-inch mattress topper is 50% off. But so you get up to 50% off, free shipping. That's nice? Isn't that great? Free shipping, a money-back guarantee. If you're not getting the best night's sleep you've ever had, you can return it. A money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Isn't that amazing? With our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, at mypillow.com. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is David from Tamarack.
Hey, what's up?
All right, so Richie, the bus driver, was absolutely correct. There are nearly 100,000 refugees in Israel from the north, and they're being bombarded by Hezbollah, and it's inevitable that this year Israel is going to go to war with Lebanon. I don't say with Hezbollah, I mean with Lebanon, because they can't really parse out. I mean, Lebanon's its own country.
Well, not if Trump comes back. When Trump returns, these terrorist countries are going to stop what they're doing for a variety of reasons.
Oh, interesting.
Why, you don't think that?
No, I don't think the Hezbollah really cares. I think
no. Where does Hezbollah get their money to fund their terrorism?
From Iran.
Why is Iran all of a sudden flush with cash?
Because they've been selling oil.
Well, two reasons. Two reasons. One of it's oil. Biden pretty much shut down the American oil industry and drove oil prices up. So Iran is making a lot. Yes, that's correct. Iran is making a ton of profit on each barrel of oil. When Trump was in office, we were producing so much oil, the profit margin wasn't that much. President Trump talked about this. They didn't have a lot of money, Russia either, because they still have to run their country. Now they got extra cash. And also, Biden's been giving tons of money to Iran. And so basically, Joe Biden has been funding Iran, which means Joe Biden's been funding Hezbollah. And when Trump comes back, all that will stop and the money will dry up. And when they don't have the money, the terrorism will slow down.
But they're not going to pull back. I don't believe they're going to pull back because of that.
Well, I don't know about pulling back, but they're going to run out of money and they're going to run out of weapons, and they're not going to be able to rearm. So Israel will be able to handle them.
I think Hezbollah already has enough weapons for an extended war.
You'd be surprised. These people are blowing through the money, and they're blowing through rockets like it's never going to end. Iran will clamp down on it because they will start running out of money. They won't be rearming them, and they do run out. They got a supply chain going on. All right, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, you talked about Donald Trump and his sarcasm, and I mean, I just want to point out something that Ben Shapiro said when he did his analysis of Trump's appearance at that CNN town hall. He compared Trump to a stand-up comedian. All right, Trump needs the audience. He's a stand-up comedian. Well, what do all good stand-up comedians have? They have sarcasm, right?
Yeah.
That they use on Jerry Seinfeld, Dave, these people, you know. And right now, because Trump is Trump, they're not getting the sarcasm, and they don't want to get the sarcasm.
Well, you know, I was shocked that Jim Acosta is so sick and twisted. He actually thought that Trump was praising the fictional character Hannibal Lecter. Like he was like looking up to him. That's how much that guy hates him. You know, Jim Acosta owes his whole career to Trump. Trump made him famous. You know, he got a big raise in his own show because his star went up with Donald Trump. Donald Trump made his career, Jim Acosta. He should love Trump more than us.
But again, this is another one of these guys that Trump is so deep in his head. He's not only renting space, he's bought the property and built something on it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and there was a story, in Trump's first term, there was a story, I don't know what the current status is, this was a few years ago, it was in the New York Post, that Jim Acosta had left the mother of his children, that he had left his wife. And I don't know if they've gotten back together. There was an article in the New York Post, it was during Trump's term, and they said that he was like with a different groupie every night. This guy, his whole life has been elevated because of Trump. You know what I mean? And he's living the life, and he still hates the man. Because he can't give him credit for his success.
I mean, him and Caitlin Collins and all these people for God's sake, Joanne Reed wears a Trump wig.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And, you know, this thing, I don't want you to think I'm saying it's a good thing that Jim Acosta left his family, okay, and was hooking up with a different groupie every night. It tells you what kind of person he is morally. He gets famous, and he leaves his wife and kids so he can go and party with these DC groupies. That's the kind of person Jim Acosta is, who's passing judgment on President Trump all the time.
Oh yeah. I mean, and these people are CNN, MSNBC, New York Times. All these people are the same person.
Mm-hmm. That's right. All right, Mike. Take care. Thanks for the call. Great call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Debbie in Washington State.
Hey, Debbie. How you been? I haven't talked in a while.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I wanted to give everybody a Wookiees update. He's not doing good. He got measured for a wheelchair.
Oh, no.
He's on oxygen and a CPAP. He's still having problems breathing. So he did say to tell everybody hi.
Well, give him my hello.
Wishes.
Give him my hello, and he'll be in our prayers.
All right, and happy birthday to President Trump.
Absolutely. I haven't heard from you in a while. Where you been?
I listen. I go and chat sometimes, but I listen to you every day.
Oh, good. I appreciate it. Okay, Debbie, well, I'm serious, though. Tell Wookie I'll put him in my prayers, and I'm sure people in the audience will put him in their prayers, too.
Yeah, okay. Well, you have a good day, then.
All right, take care. Wookiees, he's a longtime listener of the program, if you're wondering who that is. Now, I want to tell you guys, I mean, it's the weekend. It is the weekend, and that means that if you have some aches and pains, you want to go see Dr. Appleton so you can be pain-free for the weekend. You know, Dr. Appleton's laser away pain treatment is absolutely amazing. There's no surgery, no shots. They call them injection shots, no painful shots. It's 100% painless. There's no downtime with the laser away pain treatment. And of course, most importantly, it works. That's why Dr. Appleton has rid me of pain 5 times. But it works on so many types of pain. I'm going to go through my list here. This is an incomplete list. But these are some of the most common pains. And the laser away pain treatment works on them. Arthritis and bursitis, work injuries, sports injuries, strains and sprains, repetitive motion injuries, post-surgical swelling, neck injuries, back injuries, knee pain like I had, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis, rotary tears, herniated discs, acute and chronic pain. And that is a very incomplete list. You know, with Dr. Appleton, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. He's rid me of pain 5 times. Give him a call and stop living with pain. Pain is not a part of growing old. When I was getting the arthritis and all of this, I just thought, hey, that's my life now. That's how it is. And then I met Dr. Appleton. His laser away pain treatment works. Here's his number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Give them a call and say bye-bye to your pain. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We don't have enough time to take a call before the top of the hour break, but we will go back to the phones after the top of the hour. And remember, Friday's show is open phones, Open Mega Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. You are not limited to the topics that I bring up, although I think the things I brought up are worthy of discussion, and you're welcome to call in about those things as well. And since today is President Trump's birthday, you're also welcome to call in and wish him a happy birthday. You never know who might be listening, all right? So those of you who want to hold, stand by. We'll go right to the phones after the break. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. We'll be back right after this break.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar.
If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll go right to the phones after the break.
Visiting Indeed.com/credit. That's traffic. I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. This Sunday, treat Dad to a special day with great food and fun at PBKC. Bring Dad to lunch in the paddock and get 20% off your check on Father's Day. The paddock features over 140 new HD TVs and big screens to catch all the OTB and sports action. Plus, the poker room featured 65 tables of action, open daily for cash games, daily high hands, mega bad beach.
Watch what steak does to your gut. The carnivore diet. Why do people lose weight so rapidly?
Boys,
Service and installation. Need a safe pool? Yes, all year. Need help today? Yes, all year. Zero down financing? Yes, all year. Call us today at 833 all year. That's 833 all year.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours for one of those big labs. That's why I go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. Any lab test now in Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any lab test now in Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call any lab test now in Boca at 561-237-5009. Any lab test now at Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone
Here we go.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All righty, welcome back. Hour number 2 has begun. If you're on hold, stand by. There's 2 openings on the board at 1-888-465-2631 on Open Mega Mic Friday, Open Phone Friday. Before I go to the phones, I want to play something here. Now, trigger warning to wokesters out there. People are always talking about Mr. Rogers. I was never a Mr. Rogers guy growing up, okay? I like Captain Kangaroo. Do you guys remember Captain Kangaroo and Mr. Green Jeans? I was never a big Mr. Rogers fan. I watched it. But when I was a little kid, I thought it was kind of boring for me. I was not a big Mr. Rogers fan. I didn't have anything against him. I just like Captain Kangaroo better. But anyway, I saw this online this morning, and it's a clip of Mr. Rogers. And this clip, if this were today, Mr. Rogers would be canceled. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they cancel him now, even though he's long gone, for something he said back in, I don't know if this was in the 70s. I think it might have been in the 70s. He looks pretty young here, Fred Rogers. But, you know, they like to punish people that are dead for things that they said centuries ago, so Mr. Rogers could be in trouble if this gets around to the wokesters. Listen to this, though. This is Mr. Rogers on his show. He just sat down, he just put his slippers on, and he broke into song. And by today's standards, this song would be considered hate speech. All right, listen.
Boys are boys from the beginning. If you were born a boy, you stay a boy. Girls are girls right from the start. If you were born a girl, you stay a girl and grow up to be a lady.
Wow, Mr. Rogers, how dare you? I know. Mr. Rogers would not get it today. He'd be very confused. I'm confused. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Ronnie Big W. How you doing?
All right, Ronnie. Oh, you heard of Mr. Rogers on hold?
Oh, dude, yes. He told the truth.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Rogers has got the receipts.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to say happy birthday to my president, and also happy Father's Day to you, Steve, and President Trump, and all the fathers out there. But what's been on my mind, I've been watching, I just happened to go over my brother's house. You know, he's into this 1290 thing, so I mean, I like...
He's into what? He's into what?
1290 radio.
Oh, okay.
You know, with Shawna, you know.
Oh, there's other radio stations? I thought we were the only one.
I'm talking about my brother.
Okay.
My brother. I happen to be over his house.
Oh, okay.
That's what he listens to. So
shame on him.
Yeah, shame on him. Yeah, that's why I tell him shame on him. But I was just listening to how Sean Hannity is, praising DeSantis for all these things that all of a sudden he's done and he is doing. You know, I mean, it's amazing to me. I want to tell President Trump, you're the smartest president I have ever known. But in my heart, truthfully, I want you to understand, when you take out a cancer, you go for cancer, you go to kill it. Now,
well, okay, let me talk about... I'm glad you brought this thing up with Hannity. I did not hear this discussion, but a lot of people were sending me DMs about it. Did he interview DeSantis, or was he just talking about him?
Oh, he's bringing him in the fold, you know?
Okay. There's two things. Okay, there's two things going on here with DeSantis, okay? Because I'm a little more connected than I let on, guys, okay? I mean, I don't have to brag about everything. Ron DeSantis is unelectable forever. He'll never be trusted again. He lied to us here in Florida. He lied to us who elected him twice, okay? And he lied to President Trump, and he's not to be trusted. He's unelected forever. So he is angling to get a job at Fox when his term is up. And from what I've been told, Hannity is trying to facilitate that, to make him like a paid contributor, which, by the way, paid contributors on Fox, when they're a name, they make a lot of money. They can make $500,000 a year. Okay, just doing that. Plus, they get a speaker circuit, they get a podcast. The other thing is Hannity just moved to Florida full time. And there's this, yeah, and there's this thing that I call Ponce de Leon syndrome. Ponce de Leon is historically credited with discovering Florida when he was searching for the Fountain of Youth. And a lot of these guys, like Mark Levin and Hannity, and a lot of guys, they move to Florida, and they think Florida is so wonderful and free because DeSantis. It has nothing to do with DeSantis. Florida's always been this way. It's always been this way. Yes, DeSantis didn't do anything to make us freer. Florida has always been a perfect paradise. And these guys, they think they're Ponce de Leon and discovered this thing, and they want to credit DeSantis with it. It's always been this way.
It's always been this way. That's right. That's what I tell people. Well, I don't know where you're coming from, but Florida's always been this way. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, they can put DeSantis, since he stopped running, he has done things that are good. He's done a lot of conservative things, and I will give him credit for that. And that's great, but he can't be trusted anymore. He lied to us, and I got his book, and I read his book, and he's a Bushy. He was discovered by H.W. Bush when DeSantis was captain of the Yale baseball team. Bush was the captain of that team back in 1920 or something, and they groomed DeSantis. And DeSantis had his wife whispering in his ear and got him to run, and she screwed up DeSantis' wife and he destroyed he's unelectable forever.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. That's what I was on, the same page as you were.
Mm-hmm. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. Great calls today, by the way, I must say. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Yvonne Daniels from Kansas.
Hey, Kansas, what's up?
I just had something quick. I am in terminal cancer, and I need to get one of those lines.
I'll tell you what. You send me a DM on Twitter, and I will send you one.
I will do that.
What's your, just make sure you mention you're from Kansas.
I just wanted to say it's the first time I've ever called in, and I did because it's Trump's birthday, and I wanted to make sure, with my limited time, that I was able to tell him that. My liberal daughter, my two sons, is making my liberal daughter come to my gravesite and tell me if you won if I don't make it to the...
Wait a minute. You're that terminal? What kind of cancer do you have?
I have brain cancer.
Oh, my goodness. And how long have they given you? It sounds like you've gotten a terminal date.
I was told 2 weeks ago, but I don't have a date yet. So.
Well, how are they? Oh, my goodness. You think you may not make it to the election?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm good with it. I've got God in my life. So.
Oh, my goodness. Well, listen, I'm going to put you on hold, and you give your name and address to Mike, our board op, and I'll send you one of those, okay? I'll send it out to you over the weekend. All right? Absolutely. Well, that's good. No, you can do it. I'm going to put you on hold, and can you get her name and address, and I'll send her out one of those. That's oh my goodness. And I'll say this to the lady. The least that your daughter could do, since you've got this terminal diagnosis, is vote for Trump for you. All right. Let's see here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. Danielle from Michigan.
Hey, Danielle, what's up?
Hey, I just want to make a quick comment. I just want to pray for the previous caller.
Absolutely.
She's in my prayers. God bless her. I'm just calling real quick. I want to say Happy Father's Day to everybody. And I also want to say happy birthday to the best president in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so excited. I'm going down to see him on Saturday in Detroit.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Loved the show, and I loved when you played
Mr. Rogers.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Tom Hanks. If Tom Hanks gets wind of this, he's going to be so ticked off that he made that movie.
Oh, we need to play that loud and proud. I'm telling you, the left, they're going absolutely bonkers and crazy with all of this stuff. But
So you're going to see President Trump at this Detroit rally over the weekend. Have you been to Detroit lately? When's the last time you were in Detroit?
I have not been to Detroit lately. I know it has a bad rap. I have a family member that works down there every day. It's making a turnaround, and I'm going with another friend, so I'm not going to be alone. So.
Oh, good. Because I don't know. When I think of Detroit, I get like nervous.
Well, I tell you what. To be honest, it's really making a comeback. I got to be honest.
Good.
People that live in Michigan aren't aware of that, but there's a lot of young people moving down there. A lot of renovation. A lot of good.
I don't understand why you guys live in that weather. I in Florida, I have my air conditioning on 365 days a year. I don't understand how you all live in, I'm from Ohio originally. Forget about it. I don't understand why anybody lives in that weather. Michigan and Ohio are the same thing. Except Ohio's better, especially the football team.
Hey. Oh, God bless you, Brian. I love your show.
All right. Okay. All right. Take care. You see, you start talking about the Buckeyes and Michigan to someone from Michigan, and they don't want to talk anymore. They get very upset. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to do something I rarely do. That's take a break on time. There's one opening on the board at 1-888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
It's crazy the things you can do with a smartphone or tablet these days. Stream movies, take pictures, order groceries. Heck, you can even make yourself look like a unicorn. And with the Sloman's Shield home security system, you can do something really important too. Keep your family safe. Just call 833-283-5050 and you can get a free home security system, plus your choice of a free indoor monitoring camera or programmable thermostat when you subscribe to Sloman's low-cost monitoring service for 5 years. With the award-winning Sloman Shield, you can use your smartphone or tablet to arm and disarm your system, view your home, lock your doors, control your thermostat, even turn your lights on and off. And switching to Sloman's is easy when you call 833-283-5050. Call today and your home security system will be smarter, better, and more affordable than ever. Get a free security system and home monitoring for less than $1 per day at 833-283-5050. Call today.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Hi, it's Katie from Will For You. I'm announcing our annual summer sale on all of our in-stock flooring. For 41 years, this has always been the time to buy your new floor at the absolute best price. In-stock means we have it on hand. Pricing is the best on these floors because we buy it in bulk from America's finest manufacturers. No waiting, and we can usually get it installed within a few days. Choose from luxury vinyl plank as low as $1.44 a square foot and waterproof laminate from $2.99 a square foot and plush or Berber carpet as low as 99 cents a square foot.
Back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All righty, 19 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. One opening on the board at 1-888-465-2631. I remind you guys, on our radio station Saturday, that's tomorrow, noon to 4, Al Knight's on the air, and he has something I don't have. He has the combination to the prize vault at the radio station, and he's giving away prizes on the air tomorrow on whatever radio station you're listening to me on between noon and 4. All right, so check that out. Al Knight. Okay, let's see here who's next. I'm trying to take the calls in the order in which they were received. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
First thing, happy birthday, President Trump. Looking forward to seeing you tonight. And also happy Father's Day to you as well, and Steve and everybody else.
Thank you.
Okay, because time is short, I'll be quick. I have to say something that's terrible and shocking. You know, here's what it is. I told you last week that they dropped my insurance because I put a claim in, okay? I have to go buy new insurance.
How dare you put a claim in? What's the point of the insurance?
Oh, yeah. But listen to this. So they're dropping people regularly. So now when you have a claim, nobody wants to insure you. So half the companies we tried to get refuse to cover you. Then, ready for the shocking part? One company, I was paying $5,000, $3,000 last year, $5,000 this year. Now, one company offers me insurance for $45,000 a year.
What kind of house do you live? What do you live next door to Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah, that's what I said. You know, it's a nice house, big house, and everything is expensive, but from $5,000.
You know, I tell you, they're saying that we're going to have like 12 named hurricanes this year. I know of so many people and I think everybody in Florida does, who's if your house is paid for and you don't have a mortgage, you don't have to have homeowners insurance. So a lot of people, because homeowners insurance has been so expensive, have dropped their insurance. They call that self-insured. Well, that's a crisis. We get a major storm, and people, it's bad enough when you have insurance, and these people that aren't insured, oh my goodness, it's going to be awful. It's going to be a major catastrophe.
And luckily, I was shopping around, but I got $45,000, $32,000, $22,000. But finally, I got somebody for $7,000. So I'm still going to take insurance. But it's amazing that these companies can get away with this, and DeSantis is not doing anything.
Well, DeSantis doesn't own a house, and he doesn't own a car. He doesn't understand what it's like to be a normal person and have these things. I got a call from a guy the other day. He bought a new truck. He needs a truck for work, and the auto insurance is about as much as the payment.
And they get away with murder, and the state, even President Trump should maybe once he gets elected, get Congress to do something.
But believe me, President Trump's insurance has gone up too. I'm sure he's well aware on his properties.
Yeah, man. But one other thing quickly about the dogs. I talked to a guy who was a dog breeder, and he said that most of these people who get dogs trained to bite and to kill and everything are drug dealers.
See, I told you. See, I was right.
Yeah, and some people get it just because they don't want to carry a gun, so they got a dog.
Mm-hmm.
If the dog bites somebody, they can get away with it to protect.
That's right.
But I would think you're right. It's probably Hunter and the rest of them in that family are worried about.
It's protecting the stash. Probably outside the Situation Room. All right, Doug, take care. All right, let's see here. Who is next? I'm going by who's been on hold the longest here. So let's see here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, put your mouth closer to the phone. Not that you're going to say anything that's worth hearing, but we'll try.
How's it going?
Okay.
You doing okay? Hey, how come birthday boy? Is he going to do the same thing he did at the last rally? Talk about his personal hygiene, talk about sharks and batteries, What's going on with birthday boy?
This is interesting. You know, you've been on hold for almost 20 minutes, right? Okay. So you mean to tell me that after being on hold for 20 minutes, this is what you've got to say?
You have to serve the dog on there. Just talking about insurance.
Oh, that was much more interesting than you. All right, well, we don't have you talking anymore because you're boring. It's open phones, but we do have to cut it short when you're boring the audience. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Lisa in Tennessee.
Hey, Lisa.
How are you doing?
All right.
Well, listen, I'm going to pray for that sweet lady, too, with the brain cancer. Also, just like everybody, I want to wish President Trump a happy birthday. Not sure he's listening, but I know some of his family does, and we love him so much. The greatest president ever in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. And I think it's wonderful that they made Flag Day on his birthday.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah, that's great, and I'm sure that he's so cool, calm, and collected about everything. It's amazing. So I know that he's probably going to have an amazing day with his family. And a great Father's Day, too.
You know, Trump did, since it's Flag Day, Trump did something that was pretty funny. This is the outside-the-box thinking. Do you know the story about the flagpole at Mar-a-Lago?
No.
Oh, okay. Palm Beach is run by liberal jerks, okay? Liberal jerks. And this was before he was president. These are the people that were harassing Rush. The only case of doctor shopping ever prosecuted was Rush by these Palm Beach Democrats, right? They told Trump that his flagpole at Mar-a-Lago that was flying the American flag was too high off the ground. So they were going to fine him, and they were harassing him for a long time about this. So what do you think Trump did? How do you think Trump resolved this? How would you resolve it?
He probably made a higher flagpole.
He made the rule was you could only have the flagpole and the flag could only be so high off the ground, and he was violating this. So they were fining him and harassing him. So what Donald Trump did is he raised the ground. He brought in more dirt, and so he raised the ground. He brought in more dirt and all that stuff, and he raised the ground, and then boom.
Perfect.
Isn't that hilarious? It's true story. That is true story.
That is a wonderful.
Isn't that hilarious?
It's hilarious.
A lot of people. He was trying. He was trying for years to get a helicopter pad at Mar-a-Lago for his Trump helicopter, which is beautiful. If you've ever seen that helicopter in person, it will blow you away. You've never seen a helicopter. It's much nicer than the Marine one. And Palm Beach wouldn't give him the approval to build a helicopter pad, but he became president, and now he's got one. A lot of people think he became president just for that. I don't know. We'll see.
So, but thanks, hon.
All right, appreciate the call. See, the reason I share that thing about the flag, that's the kind of thinking you need when someone's president. Not some brain-dead person that was talking to people that didn't exist on TV yesterday over in Europe. Okay, let's go here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, George Orlando. I want to send out first and foremost, far more important, best wishes to the girl with the cancer and her family.
Absolutely.
And then second to that, happy birthday to Trump, President Trump, because he's everything we need. And the other thing, the last thing I'm going to say is, I want to know J.J. Math how he feels about the Kennedys, the ones that endorsed Biden.
You want to ask a gay man about the Kennedys? What did you say?
How did J.J. Math? He's a very good caller. He called in the last 5 minutes. How does he?
Who?
J.J. Math. He called in the end of your.
Oh, J.J. from Math. Okay. I thought you said you. Okay.
John Kennedy. Was he buddies with Biden? I think that's a great question. Do you agree?
It's an interesting question. I will agree. All right. Hey, listen, we got to run. Thanks for the call. All right. Okay, if you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're going to really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Yeah, oh, that'd be great.
The 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice.
Oh, good. The lady with cancer left her address with Mike. He's going to text it to me so I can send her a lion.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Oh, we got the seal next.
Okay. At the top, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts is calling in. So if there's an extra spot you're filling with, could you cut it? Yeah, so we have to shorten the break. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Doug's right. I mean, that story is hilarious about the flagpole. Melissa, thank you. $10 super sticker. Thank you.
Exciting tournaments. Grab your friends and check out the $10 poker party on Friday, June 28th. It's a great way for new players to experience tournament play. Bet small and win big with table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum all day, every day. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now.
Aruba is awesome.
Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
Well, I treated your knee pain with laser.
We had a great time in Aruba. Oh my goodness, did we have a great time? That was a great day.
Wonderful effect on joint pain.
Quantico. Uh-oh.
Just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help with.
Any joint I can do. Shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up through the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician.
Yeah, when we went snorkeling out in the ocean in Aruba, it was the first time I'd been snorkeling like in 25 years. I was really nervous about doing it because I hadn't done it in so long. It took me a few minutes to get used to it.
954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton.
When you live in Florida, you don't go swimming or go in the ocean very much because you're too busy, you know. Even I live by the ocean. Yes, the likes help, guys. Please like the video. Liking the video helps grow the channel a lot. So if you're already sub, please like the video. If you're new, sub and like. Yeah, we went snorkeling over a Nazi shipwreck. It was pretty cool. I'd never done anything like that before. But I didn't bring my GoPro. I left my GoPro at home. I should have brought it. On the next cruise, I'll bring my GoPro.
Grab your flip-flops and get ready for a summer in paradise on Margaritaville at Sea, where cruises to the Bahamas now start at just $75 a person for a limited time. Dance the night away at our high-energy poolside parties, then settle in for island-inspired cuisine night after night with your favorite plus one. From fins up to sundown, a Bahamas getaway with Margaritaville at Sea is the perfect summer refresh. Book it today to lock in your savings on your next cruise together at margaritavillatSea.com.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to ask you a question. How important is a good night's sleep, and when was the last time you got one? I get one each and every night with the MyPillow mattress topper. They're 50% off now with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. Pair it with new pillows and those fabulous Giza Dream Sheets. There's huge discounts on those too. Free shipping on all orders over $75 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. You'll thank me in the morning.
At All Year, we offer same-day AC today? Yes, all year. Zero down financing? Yes, all year. Call us today at 833 all year. That's 833 all year.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All righty, 34 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig, it's the Steve Kane Show. We'll go back to our phones. It is Open Phones on Friday, Open MAGA Mike Friday. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning.
Hey, what's up?
This is Carl from Jupiter. I just wanted to give some hope to the young lady that has the brain cancer. So I'm a cancer survivor myself, and we did what was called the Joe Tippins protocol. Actually, patient 0 was a brain cancer research. She was a researcher, a veterinarian researcher, and she healed herself of brain cancer. So there's definitely non-conventional cancer treatments out there that have very good efficacy. Hundreds and thousands of people are being healed by these non-conventional.
Well, I'll tell you, I've known, I didn't want to get too much into it with her because I didn't want to be too poking around with her because, you know, she sounded a little, you know, on the edge. But I have known many people that have been told to go home and die that are alive and well today, okay? So what I've learned about these doctors, they don't know as much as you think.
It's been around for many years, and big pharma. For big pharma. So,
oh, there you go. Yes.
So they tried to censor that.
Okay.
We've mentored 2 other friends.
Well, I don't know what it is, but if the lady's listening, go ahead and Google it and find out about it, okay? And prayer also helps a lot. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right. Once, twice. I hear them there, but they're not talking. Okay, that's fine. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mike from Houston.
All right, Mike. What's up?
Hey, good morning, and happy birthday to the best president this country has ever had. And I just wanted to touch on 2 quick things. First of all, the astronomical cost of homeowners insurance in Florida. If President Snowball can wave his magic pen and erase tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars in student loans, why can't he take that same magic pen and subsidize the cost of homeowners insurance in Florida?
You know, if you're so right. You know, if we get a major storm, we're going to find out how many people have given up their homeowners insurance. And, you know, that is devastating because, of course, if your home is severely damaged or wiped out, you're still responsible for that mortgage. If you have, or that property tax or whatever it is you have, it's pretty devastating. And my insurance has gone up thousands of dollars each of the last 2 years. I don't even know what it is now because I'm afraid to find out. I told my wife, I got the letter in the mail. I gave it to my wife. I said, I'm not opening it. Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
DeSantis is going to have to do something at some point. It's almost getting to the point where it's cost prohibitive to move down to Florida and own a property. And what I just don't understand is that you've got these cultural Marxists around Brigham who have no problem socializing and subsidizing other industries at the expense of the U.S. taxpayer.
Yep.
Why can't you do something for homeowners and insurance here?
Why not just cancel all mortgages? Let's pay off all mortgages. How about that, Biden?
Yeah, we'd vote for that.
Yeah, and auto loans. And you know, I know people that, thankfully, this is not me. When I was younger, it was. When I was younger, I had a lot of credit card debt because I didn't know any better. I have zero credit card debt now. But I know so many people that are my age. They're basically working for the minimum payments on their credit cards. I mean, you know, so why not wipe out credit card debt, Biden? How about that?
Yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to touch base on was, I call him Donnie D-Bag.
Donnie Deutsch? No, you can't say the word, no.
Okay, yeah. Well, as far as I'm concerned, he's a vapid, diarrhea-spewing talking head. And the flip side of his coin is is that there's an equal number of leftist voters who want to force their progressive issues on an America that wants no part of it. The other side of his coin is that the left is trying to push a baby-killing, rabid LGBTQ, anti-white male, anti-hetero, anti-American values agenda on the other half of the country. So he and his ilk are just as responsible for the state of polarized politics in this country as the people he's...
Well, yesterday the Supreme Court, the conservative Trump Supreme Court, ruled in favor of these leftists with the abortion pill. And the media, I know, I was a little surprised too, and the media really couldn't praise them. They were, because if they praise them and say, well, they do seem fair and balanced, where does that leave them, right? They
They're basically backed into they back themselves into a corner with their hate spewing rhetoric. Anyway, that's all I have, Brian.
Well, I appreciate the call. Well, thanks so much. Now, I got a couple clips here I want to play. If you want to call in, please do at 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. I want to play this clip of Gavin Newsom. I know it's circulating in the news, but I want to give you my thoughts. I'll play the clip first. And then, and my daughter who lives, my daughter lives in Los Angeles. I talk about this a lot. And my daughter tells me that everyone she knows in California loves Newsom. I mean, she's 25, so the people she knows are like 25. So I guess that, they're still living off mommy and daddy, a lot of them. I don't know why. But anyway, I want to play this clip. This is Gavin Newsom did a little selfie video yesterday.
Here at the border, Tijuana, right behind me, San Diego sector, the San Ysidro port of entry, not too far away, which is the largest in the Western Hemisphere. Now, we're just down here with the National Guard, meeting with customs agents as well as Border Patrol, talking about our partnerships. 390 National Guards men and women that have been working, particularly as it relates to fentanyl here in the state of California. Look at the bottom line. At the end of the day, they need more resources. Everybody needs more resources. And the Republican Party has been consistently standing in the way of providing the resources, the support for the men and women working hard, not only here at the border, but out throughout the state of California and this country to address the issues related to the border. It's time for them to stop playing politics. It's time for the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, to stop playing politics and do the right thing.
Okay. Now, I know this is making its way around, and people are saying, what does he mean? The Republicans are impeding the border. That's not what this is about. I may have been very wrong about something. I was talking to, got a text message from somebody who is in the know when it comes to California politics, somebody very well connected, and there's a common belief in these elite. They're a Republican, by the way, but they've got contacts in the Democrat circles too. And in California, there's a belief among the political elite that Biden is going to step aside after the first debate sometime. You saw him over there in Europe, right? We were talking the other day. He went number 2 in his pants in Normandy. That is true. He's had some other problems. And then yesterday, when he was with all the European leaders, he walked away and started talking to people that weren't there in that field. And the Italian prime minister, she went over there in her pantsuit and got him. Remember, you saw that yesterday? So this is, quite possible. The number one issue in the primary, there's other issues, but the number one issue when we were in the primaries, we're a little bit beyond that now, but so things have changed and focus has changed on a lot of things. But the number one thing in the primary that was impacting people's vote was the border. And I think Gavin Newsom's planning on coming in to get that nomination. Now, that doesn't mean that Biden's going to step down, that Jill's going to let him, and Gavin's going to get it. But Gavin Newsom, this video right here where he's trying to sound like the big man on campus and a tough guy when it comes to the southern border, this is about him setting himself up to get that nomination because he knows how unpopular this open border thing is. And this was the Dick Morris strategy with Bill Clinton in his reelection in 1994. I've talked about this many times. Dick Morris called it triangulation. Take the popular conservative issues and make them yours. And Bill Clinton went to victory up against Bob Dole with that. And I think that Gavin Newsom is setting the stage to come in and get the nomination. That's why he came out with this weirdo video of him being tough on the border. Now, he didn't talk about the illegal people. He talked about the fentanyl. But he's still trying to be very butch on the border issue with that video. So that's what it's all about. So my friend that texted me that they think in California, the powers that be, that Biden's going to step aside after the first debate. I think there's a lot of serious talk about that. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. But Gavin Newsom is preparing himself to step in. There's also talk of, and I've heard this for quite some time, a month or two, that they're talking to Kamala about her becoming the governor of California, and they'll use that to pass her over. So it doesn't mean these things are going to happen, but people are always making plans in case. And that's definitely what Newsom's doing here with this video. All right, we'll take our last break of the second hour and be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, what do you have for us today?
What we want to do, and what people want, is an estate plan that works. And for it to work, one of the things that has to happen is you actually still have to have assets at the time of your passing. And most estate plans could be set up in a way where you could end up losing your assets during your lifetime. So no matter what else your estate plan says, doesn't matter because it's all gone. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about losing the assets due to the cost of long-term care. And I just had some people in yesterday. There was long-term care, but they only have a little bit left. It's $100 a day, and it's going to run out soon. So even when you have long-term care, it may not be sufficient. And so if you have medical expenses, like care expenses, like home care, assisted living, or nursing home, your money can run out very quickly. And then it doesn't matter what your estate plan says because the money's gone. So because of the Siegel Law Group, we are estate planning attorneys and elder law attorneys. We know what to put in your estate planning documents to help set things up in a way so that you can be eligible to qualify for the government benefits like Medicaid to pay for your long-term care, so you don't have to run out of money during your lifetime. And that's what we do at the Siegel Law, make sure that you have an estate plan that works and you don't run out.
That's correct, and I think a lot of people assume, and this you should not do this. Call the Siegel Law Group. It's a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. If you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the program, but Barry, people assume that they have too much. They have, I have a house, I have this, I have that. I'm not going to qualify. That's for you, and that's for you to tell them, and that's for you to find out, right, Barry?
Absolutely. Don't jump to that conclusion on your own. Come in, let us review everything, because you'll be surprised that, let's even say you have an estate, your assets are worth, let's say, a couple $1 million as just an example. Well, even with that being said, there are a number of assets that you likely have that don't even count towards what they allow you to have. You're only allowed $2,000 in countable assets. But if your home doesn't count, your rental properties don't count, your retirement accounts don't count, if we're able to make all of those not count, and now even if you have countable assets over the limit, there are ways that we are able to qualify you for Medicaid. Even with that, we are able to shelter those assets.
Exactly. And and what you're dealing with, it's much like you don't want to do your own taxes. You want to have an accountant, and that's kind of what it's a similar concept with this. To not think that you have too much money, you have too many assets, or that you're just not going to qualify. Again, it's a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. You just have to mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the program, and the Siegel Law Group can help you no matter where you are located in the state of Florida. The number is toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll have a happy Father's Day weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. All right, we'll be right back.
On the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All righty, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. It is open phones on Friday, open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. You're not limited to the topics that we bring up. The number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. And, of course, it is the president's birthday. You never know who's listening. The president is in town. There's a big celebration for him in Palm Beach today. And you never know who's listening. Call in and wish him a happy birthday. Okay. So earlier in the show, I was talking about Donnie Deutsch. I only played half of what I was going to share with Donnie Deutsch. So I'm going to replay the first part, and then I'll play the second clip that I did not get to. Donnie Deutsch is, the reason I share this, he's on MSNBC. He is your typical liberal Democrat, Trump-hating, Trump derangement syndrome suffering person that you have in today's media. So let me play the first clip that I already played, and then we'll get to the second one. Okay, this is Donnie Deutsch yesterday.
The problem is not, the real problem is not the party itself. It's the voters who are subscribing to the party. 74 million of them last time around. This time, Trump ahead in the polls, not by a lot. So the real question, and the thing that is the most troubling, and I know a lot of these Trump voters, is the party speaks for itself. They're transparent. We see it. Other than Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney, I don't think there's, and now you saw Paul Ryan, I don't think there's a Republican that has spoken outside of and again or against fearless leader. So what is it about, at this point, half the country that says, that's my party, I'll vote for that, that works for me? That's the troubling part, is beyond the party, is the voters that are subscribing to it. That keeps me up at night.
Wow. So the problem isn't Trump, Donnie Deutsch says, it's those of us who vote for him, half the country. That's pretty sick, pretty twisted, very arrogant. Well, the second part, and this, he did an interview on, he has a podcast, and he was interviewing James Carville, who, you know, is really, James Carville, every time I see him, he looks worse, because James Carville has spent his entire life building up the Democrat Party, and he, as I say, he was the third most powerful person in Washington during Clinton's first term. It was President Clinton, Hillary Clinton, then Carville. And he's seen his entire life work be destroyed because the Democrat Party's fading away. So here's Donnie Deutsch talking to Carville about the problems they're having. Now, I can't play the whole thing because the language gets very salty, okay? So, Mike, listen up, because we may, if I don't stop it in time, we may have to hit the dump button. If you're on hold, stand by. This is Donnie Deutsch. I don't understand why these people always use profanities. You know, why? Why do they use profanities all the time? You know why? Because they're frustrated. That's why. So this is Donnie Deutsch yesterday talking with James Carville on Donnie Deutsch's podcast, and Donnie Deutsch is asking Carville why they're losing.
It is. I want to go back to the black vote because you've talked, I was listening to one of your interviews and you astutely talk about how from a metrics point of view, the poverty rate is at an all-time low, their wages are at an all-time high. None of it makes sense. So please explain the hemorrhaging of the black vote, particularly black men.
I can't. Well, all right, let's start. Joe Biden has been the best president economically that black America's ever had. You could say that...
He just, James Carville said, for blacks, economically, Biden's been the best president blacks have ever had. More so than Lincoln, more so than Trump, where we had the lowest unemployment rate of African Americans in history, the highest employment rate since slavery under Trump.
And Johnson, voting rights and civil rights. And, you know, Obama was a, huge figure in black American history. But in terms of everything, it's hard to beat Joe Biden's record. It's hard to beat Joe Biden's record in terms of appointments. I mean, there's no one that's appointed more black Americans to more senior positions than Biden. And what's happened, I've said this before, part of it is a male problem. We have a huge male problem.
Yes, sir.
We have a huge male problem all across the board, but particularly, I hate this term, but I'll use it, communities of color, like as if all people that are not white are the same. It's stupid. And I do think, and people got a little upset with me when I told Maureen, New York Times, but I think democratic culture has too many preachy females. It's too much. Don't eat hamburgers. Don't watch football. Wear condom. Like, man, shit.
Okay, so I almost had it. But and then he went on to say, I almost had it. He goes on to say right after that, James Carville to Donnie Deutsch, we're going to effing lose them. We're going to effing lose them. He said the whole word right after that. The reason they're losing blacks is not because of James Carville's reason. It's that these are typical white liberal Democrats. You heard Donnie Deutsch said the problem is not Trump, it's the people. They think they're superior not just to Trump voters, they think they're superior to black voters. And they don't understand that black voters today care about the same thing white voters care about. Being able to afford groceries, being able to afford rent, mortgage, college, paying their bills, buying Father's Day gifts. This idea that they need to have all these black people appointed to offices to feel like they're part of the power structure, those days are over. The people that are running the Democrat Party are white liberals like this that still think it's the 60s, 70s, and the 80s when it comes to blacks. They don't understand that we have reached total equality in this country, including economic equality. And black people care about the same things that white people care about. This divide is gone, and that's why they're losing. All right. Well, the delay is re-engaged. We'll take some calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, you're on the air.
Hi, this is Debbie from Palm Coast.
Hey, Debbie.
Your theory on the dog, I totally agree. But dogs aren't stupid. They do what they're taught. And, of course, with the Biden crime family, that's going to happen.
Okay, now let me explain for people that aren't tuning in, because I opened the show up at 6 about this. And I'm not going to go through the whole explanation of my own experience and how I found this out. But I was talking about the 2 Biden dogs, because it's in the news today, that are biting people all the time. And I was explaining, and I gave a lot of detailed analysis of this in the first segment of the show. These are drug dogs, and drug addicts train their dogs to protect what's most important to them, and that's their stash. And the Biden dogs have been trained probably by Hunter to bite anybody that comes in who's not members of the family, because they may be coming for his stash. And that's why they have a dog biting problem with the last 2 dogs in the Biden family. They're trained to do this.
The problem with that, they're biting the wrong ones. But anyway, I also wanted to say, if all you people that are asleep out there absolutely believe that Biden won this.
Yeah.
My president of the United States, Donald Trump, I wanted to tell him happy birthday. So, President Trump, happy birthday. Have a wonderful time tonight and try to relax.
Absolutely. All right. Take care. Thank you for the call. All right, let's see. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Betty. I'm calling from St. Louis.
Hey, Betty, what's up?
To wish President Trump a happy birthday. I've been on board with him since 2015 when he was held a rally at Peabody here downtown St. Louis. And I'm going to wish you also a happy Father's Day. I really enjoy your program.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Oh, don't we have nice people calling today? This is nice. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Right?
Yes.
Yes, my name's John from Boca. I want to wish the greatest president in the world a very happy birthday. Doesn't look a day anywhere close to his age. I wish we all could look the way he looks at his age. I wish we all could accomplish a percentage of what he's accomplished in a day. When a man's a workaholic, I don't know when he gets time to rest, Brian. And, I followed your show for many years, and maybe some people that don't follow think just because it's Trump, they would be giving all this grief to. Whoever the Republican nominee is, always seems to get this kind of grief. It happened with Romney. It happened with the one before. I lose track. My mind's kind of disappearing.
Yeah.
The press goes out and they attack him. He's the only one with a backbone that can stand up to the press. He's the only one who's a quick thinker who almost challenges these kind of questions because he expects it. Because that's why he's.
And you know, look at how smart he is. He went and talked to Logan Paul, who has a massive following, and he's gotten like 50 million people on TikTok just watching the promo for the Logan Paul interview. And that's Vivek Ramaswamy that's got Trump with Charlie Kirk in touch with the youth vote. It's amazing.
And with just half the country, I mean, I look at the support, and you look at the support. Anybody who's got a set of eyes looks at the support of how many people come to his rally. I'm supposed to believe that only 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell are the Biden supporters right now? This guy got 80-something.
Yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, listen, we're good call. We're out of time. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. Back after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1
Hello?
HD3 Indiantown, and
Yeah, hold on.
96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm first one meteorologist Vanessa from WPBF 25 News. A cloudy start and a couple downpours out there. We'll see rain chances increasing by lunchtime and then even more by the evening hours. Scattered thunderstorms will be possible in the forecast with warm highs today near 86 degrees.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
We're seeing some busier traffic on the Turnpike and on I-95. This traffic report is sponsored by Macy's. On the Turnpike heading southbound, approaching Okeechobee Boulevard, there's some heavier delays. And on I-95, heading northbound just past Congress Avenue is where things are getting heavier there. And there's also some construction to deal with on the Turnpike at the Beeline Highway. Find the perfect Father's Day gift with Macy's Gift Finder. In just a couple of clicks, you'll get personalized gift ideas for every dad and every budget. Visit Macy's.com/giftfinder and at Macy's. That's traffic. I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. This Sunday, treat Dad to a special day with great food and fun at PBKC. Bring Dad to lunch in the paddock and get 20% off your check on Father's Day. The paddock features over 140 new HD TVs and big screens to catch all the OTB and sports action. Plus, the poker room featured 65 tables of action, open daily for cash games, daily high hands, Mega Bad Beat chatbots, and exciting tournaments. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Your home is your safe space, your private refuge from the world at large. So what happens when a burglar invades that space? Possessions can be replaced, but the feelings of helplessness and violation felt by you and your family are harder to overcome. Protect your space and your family with the award-winning Sloman Shield home security system. It's never been easier or more affordable than now to make the switch to Sloman's. When you call 833-283-5050, you get a free home security system, plus your choice of a free interior monitoring camera or programmable thermostat when you subscribe to the Sloman's low-cost monitoring system. Sloman Shield, you can arm and disarm your system, view your home, lock your doors, control your thermostat, even turn your lights on and off right from your smartphone or tablet. Call 833-283-5050 now and ask about a free home security system. You'll save money and gain peace of mind knowing your family is secure with Sloman's. Call 833-283-5050 today.
The Greater South Florida Chamber of Commerce City Festival Business Expo and Health Fair is coming up Saturday, June 15th at Miami Springs Golf and Country Club from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. The True Oldies channel will be on site from 12 to 2 with some great giveaways, fun, and more. Come out and see us Saturday, June 15th. It's the Greater South Florida Chamber of Commerce City Festival Business Expo and Health Fair at Miami Springs Golf and Country Club, 650 Curtis Parkway in Miami Springs. Learn more at GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show.
All righty, the third hour has begun. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Call us on hold, stand by. Remember, it is open phones on Friday, open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. Or if you just want to call in and say happy birthday to President Trump, that's good too. Or comment on one of the, I think, pretty sharp topics and analysis I've given you since 6. That's also welcome. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Joe from Royal Palm Beach.
Hey, Joe, what's up?
I want to say happy birthday to the real president and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there and you and Steve.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, Father's Day. Most important day of the year, Father's Day.
And, yeah, what's his name was talking about when you were just bringing up that Gavin Newsom and Big Mike were definitely in play for a long time now. They're just looking to get rid of Biden. Quickly after the debates and probably before the Democratic thing.
Hello?
What's his name? Roger Stone.
Yeah,
brought that up
Steve Kane Show.
In January, he was talking about it. He knows inside baseball.
No, I agree. Yeah, Gavin Newsom's definitely making plans. And, you know, he's in the know because he's Pelosi's nephew, so they're making plans. There's no doubt about it.
I just can't understand how all the people could actually fathom having him be anywhere near the presidency and how bad he screwed up California. They are mentally insane that if they would put him in. He's worse than Kamala.
People in California don't see things clearly. I mean, they're lunatics. The liberals out there are lunatics.
I've been out to California, and it's mostly like you said, Hollywood. Like if you go north and you go south, it's different.
It's another state. Northern California is a whole other place. Yeah, you're right.
Even south, but if you go back to San Diego, there's a lot of military people live there. Very red.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've elected. You know, I know he wasn't the most conservative, but Schwarzenegger was elected. You know, and so they're not completely, you know, it's not completely out of the realm of having some Republican victories in California still.
I do believe they're going to do a switcheroo on him because Biden cannot. He's at the end of the road. My opinion.
Well, you know, a lot of people though like that because they can control him. They can get their agenda through, too. You know, there's benefits to these evildoers.
You showed the videos. I mean, I don't know if he's actually making it worse so they can get rid of him easy, or he's really that dementia-ridden. I mean, I never...
This trip has taken a toll. This video of him yesterday when he left the other leaders and went and started talking to people that weren't there, open air, and I think it was the Italian Prime Minister, she went and brought him back. That was one of the worst I've ever seen him. And I wasn't joking, he did go number 2 in his pants in Normandy next to Macron on stage. That's exactly what, I mean, yeah.
He did it with the Pope, too. He did it multiple times. The media just covers it up. It's there. I mean, you just have to look at it.
It's frightening. It's frightening.
It's not even hiding.
You know, and this thing he did yesterday, apparently this 10-year deal he's making with Zelensky is to give Zelensky a bunch of frozen Russian money. That sounds very dangerous to me. I don't know. I mean, they're trying to start World War III. No doubt about it.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate the call. Thanks so much. You know, and that's really it's reckless. It's irresponsible, but it's frightening. All right. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Steve from Chicago.
Hey, Steve.
Hi. I just wanted to tell you, I keep forgetting. Every time I see Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm like, man, she'd be a great president, man. I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, especially when she was in Nevada, when she spoke in Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, she'd be the ultimate bull in a China shop like Trump used to be.
What do you mean used to be? What do you mean like Trump used to be? How's he changed? What does that mean?
I'm just saying, when he first came out, it was so shocking to everybody. And I'm like missing that because he's being presidential and nice. But she's presidential, yes. But she's, oh man, she just...
No, I mean, if you look, you know, what President Trump did yesterday was brilliant. He went to the Capitol and he had that press conference. And, you know, the two things about that press conference, the one I mentioned earlier, a lot of people are saying, oh, it was so short. And I was hoping for a longer one. It was short because Biden was coming on with Zelensky in 15 minutes, and he didn't want the media to cut him off. He wanted to, he went. The other, which I thought was a smart move, but the other thing about that yesterday is when he came out there, he showed party unity. He was surrounded by the top, most important Republicans around him, and it shows that he's in charge. And he looked like he was the president yesterday.
Yes, I agree totally, 100% with you. And I love him. I've always loved him for 50 years that I've known him. Yes. Oh yeah, he's our president. He's very influential now.
Yeah. All right.
When I heard Marjorie, like when I hear her, she just gives me that excitement of like a bull in a China.
Oh, yeah, she's very good. All right, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Now, I want to play this clip. This is Fannie Willis. And Fannie doesn't like to be called Fannie. And she, don't blame us, blame your mother. I know she says it's Fannie. It's Fanni. That is not Fannie. That's Fannie. What do you think her mother called her? I bet Fannie. Okay? But let me play this. This is Fannie Willis yesterday. She gets very triggered if you call her Fannie. Listen to this. She's speaking to a group.
While they over there running their mouth, I'm over here paying them no mind. See, I'm so tired of hearing these idiots call my name as Fannie in a way to attempt to humiliate me. Because like silly schoolboys, the name reminds them of a woman's rear.
Okay. So what this woman is so out of her mind. First of all, people call her Fannie because you read the name and that's how you would pronounce it. You wouldn't say Fannie. There's no W in there. That's how you pronounce it. She is pronouncing her name in a way that is not represented by the spelling of it. So people aren't calling her Fannie because, of any other reason other than that's what the name is if you read it properly. But what she's talking about here shows how full of herself she is. She thinks people call her Fannie because they're sexualizing her. She's making it a thing about her rear end. Now, a lot of people may think she is that, okay, because of the way she behaves, but that's not why they do it. But she's so full of herself, she thinks everybody's got the hots with her. She's like AOC. Remember AOC said everybody wants to date me? Remember that? That's what Fannie Willis is doing here. She thinks everybody's sexually attracted to her. And she's saying that she's being sexualized. The only person that's made her a sex object or a ridicule about such things is her. Right? She paid her gigolo boyfriend almost $700,000 of taxpayer money to do legal work, overpaid him for legal work, and it's not a coincidence that she was having sex with him. So if people look at her in a sexual way, it's because of the way she's carried on. And, one thing about Fannie Willis is what we've learned is that the Black Panthers are running Georgia. And I remember when they brought her father up, her father's worse than her. Her father came up and testified in that hearing. And I've never seen someone so impressed with themselves as Fannie Willis's dad. He went through his entire legal resume and was just going on and on and on. I mean, who cares? I've never seen someone brag so much. It didn't have anything to do with what he was testifying about. And Fannie Willis was raised by that monster. She's a very spoiled little girl. She can't handle any criticism. And she's so arrogant and so spoiled, gotten away with everything she's ever done, gotten everything she's ever wanted, that criticism of her is anything other than actual criticism of what she's doing. And what Fannie Willis is doing is trying to elevate herself. She wants to be the Attorney General of the United States or maybe the governor of Georgia. That's why she's going after Trump. Like her father, who's obsessed with his resume, this is her resume, right? getting a mugshot of a president of the United States. But like the others, this is going to backfire on her. The Supreme Court came out with that abortion pill ruling. The presidential immunity ruling's coming. And when that ruling comes out, all of these cases, including Fannie's, are going to evaporate because presidents do have immunity. They've got to have immunity. If they don't have immunity, they could be charged with murder and collateral damage when they do airstrikes, as an example. There's many other things they could be charged with, too. That's why presidents have immunity. You can't govern and be the commander-in-chief if you don't have presidential immunity. All right, we're going to take our first break of the third hour. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, we need a timeout. Is your performance in the bedroom keeping you on the bench? Does fatigue have you feeling subpar? You gotta man up with Game Day Men's Health, where you can find high-quality, effective treatment programs, even if you're on the go. Call 561-355-5341. Testosterone therapy rejuvenates you with a renewed joy of life, with a free consultation and test as quick as 15 minutes. Treat your ED with Gaines Wave, non-invasive sound waves in your blood vessels. Proven by clinical research that it is safe and provides long-term results when you're in the bedroom. Consider HGH therapy to rev up your engine with HGH peptides, helping men fight fatigue and trim belly fat. A 100% bioidentical hormones facility, Game Day Men's Health will get you back in the game in no time. 561-355-5341. Visit our new location in Palm Beach Gardens on the corner of North Lake and North Military Trail. Their enjoyable man cave environment provides refreshments and flat-screen TVs, aided by expert licensed staff who specialize in male health and wellness. Nothing else compared. Call 561-355-5341 or online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com for more information. Don't sideline your well-being. Let Game Day Men's Health help you score big.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Hey, Mike, to all these listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. If you're looking for a retirement advisor, you know trust and experience are two big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these. Whether you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or even simpler, you can go to JupiterJoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know It All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or remember, go to JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit. In HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988, and his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldie.
All right. We are back. Call us on hold, stand by. It is Open Manga Mike Friday here on President Trump's birthday. Our number toll free, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Carolina.
Hey, Ricky. What's up?
I just, President Trump, happy birthday, and we love you, and thank you for your sacrifice, and we salute you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
San Marie from Coral Springs.
Hey, what's up?
I just wanted to say happy birthday to President Trump, the strongest man I've ever seen, ever known. But I also wanted to give a really big shout out to Dr. Appleton. I went to him last Friday for sciatic, and he helped me tremendously. I brought a friend from work and my husband, and anyway, he's just top of the line. I totally recommend Dr. Appleton.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate that. That's very good. I think we just heard the new Dr. Appleton commercial. Yeah, let me give his number out, by the way, since she called in. Yes, sciatica. I know people that have had sciatica. It is torture. Dr. Appleton, by the way, appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturday. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Larry, I'm from Pembroke Pines.
Hey, Larry.
Yeah. Hey, first, happy birthday to our president, President Trump.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Number two, you've got to have an end with them because you may have already touched on this, but he talked about the tariffs, using tariffs for the in place of the income tax.
Mm-hmm.
And you just talked about that, 2 or 3 days ago.
Yes, it was Monday.
Right.
I was talking. I was talking on Monday that no one should be paying income tax, and I was talking with one of our wackadoodle callers, and they said, "Well, how would you pay for everything?" And I said, "Through import taxes. That's how the government used to operate." And just yesterday, President Trump said that same exact thing.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving them the idea. One last thing, they're trying to create this moral equivalency between Hunter Biden and President Trump. And I'm a simple man. When you talk about Hunter Biden, he was accused of and then convicted of buying a gun illegally because he was addicted to
crack. He was doing crack, yeah. And he lied on the federal background check form.
Correct. That's very easy. If I was a juror, very easy for me to understand what that crime was. And so when you listen to all these liberals that say, well, President Trump was convicted, I think the first question I would ask them is, what was the crime?
Mm-hmm.
If you can't explain it, I don't know how you can.
Well, the liberals believe that making America great again is a crime. But the thing about it, when somebody has done crime, it's obvious. Like Hunter lied on that federal form. I mean, any of us that have bought guns, I filled out that form. I don't lie on it. I'd be in prison if I lied on it.
Exactly. And again, I mean, if someone robbed a bank, the prosecutor says they robbed a bank, and then you decide whether or not they did it.
And Hunter's an attorney. Where's the talk of him being disbarred? He's a convicted felon. Convicted felon attorneys get disbarred. Where's he? What state is he a member of the bar in? Are they run by? We need to get him disbarred. He can still practice law.
Exactly. And then, hey, lastly, I know you're not a sports guy, but go.
No. Is that Stanley Cup thing that's going on?
It is.
Yeah. Okay. I think okay. That's I got to tell you. Okay. I went to a Panthers game a couple years ago, and my wife's cousins gave us tickets. They have the best seats you can get. Okay, I was terminally bored. That hockey game was the most boring thing I've ever watched in my life.
Years ago, I think I would have been on board with that, but it's just infectious. If you watch it and start to understand a little bit, it's crazy fun.
Yeah, they hit that puck into that net.
At 100 miles an hour.
And I got to tell you, my my mom, my stepfather, my stepfather married my mom when I was young. There was never a moment where there was not sports on the TVs in the house. Every single one of them. I just have never had an interest in them. I don't know why. I've never had an interest in anything. I cannot tell you the name of a single professional athlete on any team.
But hockey, I don't know. It's got me. I love it.
Really?
I love it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it. All right. Good. Okay. All right. Take care. Take care. All right. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. This is George from Boca.
Hey, George.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, listen, I want to shout out President Trump. Say happy birthday to him. And for those who do not know, President Trump is the embodiment, of a strong Scottish brute. You ever watch that movie Braveheart?
Yes, of course, with the great Mel Gibson.
Exactly, and people don't understand the blood that's in his vein. Trump, mom is Scottish, and
well, last week when Trump was at that fight, I saw video of him backstage, and who was there with President Trump? Mel Gibson.
Exactly, and people don't realize the connection with Scottish people and how intrepid or strong or brutish we can be at times, but calm, and that's the embodiment of a Scottish person. And so I want to say a happy birthday to him. And America, look out.
Yeah, yes.
Go, before I go, listen, I hate to say this, but most of my friends are full white folks. And I say to myself, how in the world can some white people be so darn...
Wait a minute. Some of your friends are what? Some of your friends are what with white folks? I didn't quite catch that.
No, I'm just saying some of my friends are white.
Oh, okay. Some of your friends are white. Okay.
Yeah. No, and I can't understand. I've said this over and over to them. How in the world you guys don't understand that you're voting for your own demise?
Yeah.
You don't understand the monolithic connection with, like, let's say, within a black community. Black focus on one thing. White will jump over a cliff and then search for a ladder. Mm-hmm. I just can't understand.
My experience has been that most black people that are especially liberal are racist and hate white people. That's been my experience.
Exactly, that's true. That's true. I'm black. I have it in me, Brian, and that is true. But guess what? I don't care whether or not they accept me or what. I'm going to tell them the darn truth. Black is not a monolithic group, but their thought pattern is mirrors the same thing. White liberals uses black folks to advance their own agenda, and whites are so darn stupid to believe.
Yes, no, I agree. I agree with you. All right, take care. Good to hear from you. All right, the phones are busy. Let's take another one before we break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Patty from Massachusetts.
Hey, what's up?
I went and voted Tuesday. We had a local voting.
Yeah.
And I could not believe it. The candidates could not say what party they were affiliated with.
Well, even here in Florida, it depends on what the office is. Like when people run for judge, they can't give their party affiliation. So that's true around the country, even here in Florida in some instances. What kind of offices were they running for?
The school committee.
That's probably why. Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah. And that's done on purpose. They don't want you to know. They don't want you to know. Like when I'm voting for school boards or judges, things like that, I want to know because liberals are not tough on crime. Republicans are. And when it comes to the schools, it's the same thing. I know it shouldn't be that way, but there's a lot of local offices that are non-party affiliated, they say, which is a bunch of nonsense.
Yes, it is.
You know, and this thing with school, and these things with school boards and everything, the only people that should be on school boards are people who have kids in the schools. That should be a rule. You know, to be a judge. Yeah, go ahead. There's a black man doing what?
He was running for school committee, and he's got 2 kids in school.
Well, that's good.
It's time to get back to the basics. Reading and arithmetic.
Oh my goodness. But how well is he doing in Massachusetts? Probably not well. Black and talking, making sense. But you know, to be a judge, you have to be an attorney. Like, if you're not an attorney, you cannot run for judge. So if you have to be an attorney to run for judge, why should you not have to be a parent to run for school board?
Right.
You know? All right, hey, listen, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. There's only one opening on the board on this Open MAGA Mic Friday. You know, on Open Phone Friday, Open MAGA Mic Friday, I feel like I'm not doing any work because we turn the show over to you guys and talk about what you want to talk about. I feel like I'm just like a customer service operator. But I think the calls have been pretty good today. All right, we'll take our bottom of the hour break and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, South Florida. First morning meteorologist Vanessa from WPBF 25 News. A cloudy start and a couple downpours out there. We'll see rain chances increasing by lunchtime and then even more by the evening hours. Scattered thunderstorms will be possible in the forecast with warm highs today near 86 degrees.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
In North Palm Beach, there's a crash. This traffic report sponsored by Discover. On US 1 just south of PGA Boulevard, there's a wreck. There's also a crash in West Palm Beach at Okeechobee Boulevard, at Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, and on the Turnpike heading northbound approaching Jog Road. That's on the shoulder. And heavy delays on the Turnpike.
Now, guys, if you're make sure you like the video. Liking the video helps so much. So please like the video, guys.
When you call about your credit card with 24/7 live U.S.-based customer service from Discover, everyone can talk to a real person anytime, day or night. Limitations apply. See terms at discover.com/credit card. That's traffic. I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the poker room at PBKC with 65 tables of action. Open daily for cash games, daily high hands, mega bag beat jackpots, and exciting tournaments. Grab your friends and check out the $10 poker party on Friday, June 28th. It's a great way for new players to experience tournament play. Bet small and win big with table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum all day, every day. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales. Save 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing, and we even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or CutMyKilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
Hey, grab your flip-flops and get ready for a summer in paradise on Margaritaville at Sea, where cruises to the Bahamas now start at just $75 a person. For a limited time, dance the night away at our high-energy poolside parties, then settle in for island-inspired cuisine night after night with your favorite +1. From fins up to sundown, a Bahamas getaway with Margaritaville Village Sea is the perfect summer refresh. Book it today to lock in your savings on your next cruise together at MargaritaVillageSea.com.
Attention seniors, are you not happy with your current Medicare plan? If not, give Debbie at I Will Advisors a call. 954-7...
Guys, don't forget, order your Mighty Mega Lion at MightyMegaLion.com. There's a link in the description. With every purchase, we make a donation to the Trump campaign. All right? And these Mighty Mega Lions are available only through me at MightyMegaLion.com. There's also a link in the description of the video. If you order more than one, you get a discount, and you're making a donation to the Trump campaign with every purchase. So order yours, guys.
753-8080. Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, IWillAdvisors.com. When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have blood testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, every line on the board is lit. We'll go to the phones in just a moment. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. I was just reading in the New York Post that these terrorist supporters protesting in New York in front of the Israeli consulate burned American flags. That's with an L, okay? American flag. They burned American flags, plural, with an L. Why is that allowed? I've been seeing this story that there's been like almost a nationwide manhunt for some teenagers that put tire marks on this pride flag that was painted on the street. They call it a hate crime. It's a crime to desecrate the pride flag, even if it's on the street. It's painted on the street. They did donuts. Why is that a hate crime? Why are they doing a nationwide manhunt for who left the tire tracks on the street where the pride flag is? But burning American flags, that's okay. Especially on Flag Day with an L. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Kevin from Delray.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah. First, Brian, I want to say you got a great radio show going, you and Steve. And also, I want to wish President Trump a happy birthday. Another thing I want to say, Mike from Friendly Tires, I want to thank you for sending us over there because he's a gentleman. He did 3 cars for me, and the prices were right, and he's a perfect gentleman.
Well, that's awesome. Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Yeah, great prices on new and used tires. All right, let's go. You're on the air. This is the only show where callers and listeners do the commercials. It's nice. I appreciate that every time, guys. It means a lot. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. It's Greg from Boca Raton. Listen, a few items we may talk about. One, by the way, thank you. Thank you so much for turning me on to Charlie Kirk. He is amazing. That guy is spot on, and he's going to bring a younger vote to Trump. Don't you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, he's doing a great job.
Yeah, he's amazing. All right, first, listen, what about our governor, Ron DeSantis? I heard you briefly, always have to give him jabs, always have to go up. But by the way, your predictions about him were so far off.
Oh, really? He's the nominee for Republican Party president?
You said a couple things. First, you said when he returned back to governor, you'd be doing ludicrous things here. You were scared of what he would do. Wrong or right on that prediction?
Well, no, I don't even know about that prediction. He's doing conservative things, but he is unelectable forever. That's been my Ron DeSantis prediction. No. Oh, well, that hasn't been determined yet. I was talking earlier that Ron DeSantis is working through Hannity to set up a job at Fox News after he leaves office. Okay, if that comes through, let me finish my thought. if that comes through, the marriage will survive. But if he can't find work and that pays a lot of money since he is unelectable forever, his debutante wife that screwed up his political career ain't going to be happy.
First of all, you were so wrong in that prediction. That man is an Ivy League graduate, has a law degree. He could go to any top firm and earn probably 10 to 20.
Do you really think Ron DeSantis wants to work for a living?
Of course he does.
No.
Listen, that man served our country. And by the way, yes, Brian. But lastly, you were so far.
What do you mean he served? What do you mean he served our country?
He served as a JAG, going to Guantanamo Bay and representing.
Yeah. So what does that mean? I just saw this Marine. So I just because someone serves in the military doesn't mean that they're got a free pass in life. Look at this Marine that's married to the transgendered Miss something. So what?
Listen, who cares about that? We're talking about Ron.
Well, excuse me. You must care about what I have to say since you called me.
You know what? You're so far off base, and your listeners, they got to be saying, wrong, Brian. They've got to be. You're ludicrous.
The only thing people are saying wrong to is me having a conversation with you.
And lastly, let's go on. Because you know what? They are so far gone. Some of these people that call in, they're all over 70 years old, primarily callers. At least they sound like they're 80. But here's another thing.
Oh, really? You're a young man?
I'm younger than them, that's for sure.
How old are you?
I know what you're going to say now. Then you're going to ask me for my birthday.
No, I'm not going to ask you for your birthday. How you don't want to tell how old you are? Okay, so he's not a young man, and he's doesn't want to say how old he is. All right, there you go. Ageism. He thinks if he compliments Charlie Kirk, it gives him credibility. Everyone knows you're a liar. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Chris in Boca. What's up?
Hi, I just want to say, wish our president a happy, healthy birthday. And Brian, I may have missed it, but did you touch base on that employee in Bridgeport, Connecticut that stuffed the ballots on video?
Oh, good. Did they arrest him?
Oh, she's in trouble. She's losing.
Oh, good. Somebody said yesterday, I can't remember, somebody asked this question yesterday, a conservative, I can't remember who it was. They said, why do we even have voting machines? Why don't we just use ballots like we used to? It's a good question. All right, appreciate the call. Let's see. I'm trying to take them in the order in which they received. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Roz. How you doing?
Hey, Roz.
Couple things. I want to wish President Trump a happy birthday and many, many more years. I hope he lives over 100 years old.
Absolutely.
And I think he's one of the greatest presidents we've ever had in our lifetime.
Well, no. Hold on. Let's talk about that. What president in our lifetime has been greater than him?
Nobody.
Okay, so he is the greatest president of our lifetime.
Yes.
Okay, that's
better than even Reagan.
Oh yeah, by far. Reagan was great, but not this great.
No. And I love President Trump. I love his family. And this other guy, this jerk that just called you about Ron DeSantis.
Greg too.
Yeah, he's full of baloney because he's saying only 80 years call. Well, I'm 59. I'm not 80.
Well, notice he didn't want to say how old he was.
Yeah, because he's probably in his 50s or 60s.
Yes, yeah. He's older than me, I know that, and I am 53.
Yeah, and I'm 6 years older than you.
Mm.
But you know what? He's a liar because Ron DeSantis is unelectable.
Forever.
Up his career, yeah. If he would have stood by President Trump would have helped him for 20
years. Let me tell you, what's going to happen with the DeSantis, see, I've known guys in my life that have the problem DeSantis has. Their wives whisper in their ears and get them to do things that screw things up. And his wife, with the help of the Bushes, okay, but they got the wife working on him, got him to run against Trump. That was a betrayal that will never be forgotten. He is unelectable forever. And if he can, believe me, he does not want to go work at a law firm, okay? He does not want to go work. He wants to have a political job where you don't have to work. If he doesn't get like this Fox News gig or something like that, and he has to go out and get a real job and work, and that marriage is not going to last. His wife wants money and power. And
those are the type of women that want to act like the man in the marriage.
Yeah.
Do all the bossing around. And, you know, by God's way, a woman is supposed to step down and her husband's supposed to be the head of the household.
Well, when it comes to careers, many a wife has destroyed a man's career by convincing him to do things like DeSantis' wife did with him. If he would not have run against Trump, he would probably have been the second MAGA president in 2028. I mean, at some point, that's going to become an issue in that marriage.
Oh yeah, because she wants money and she wants fame and power. And let me tell you something. She doesn't even hold a candlestick to Melania as far as looks.
Oh, please. And you know, I've been following our Florida governors my whole life. Now, she is the First Lady of Florida. That is true. But I've never heard someone use that title. And every time Ron DeSantis talks, he always calls her the First Lady, the First Lady. It's like they're doing cosplay to be Trump and Melania. I've never heard, Jeb never used to call Columba the First Lady. You know, I've never heard, before these two, I've never heard. So that will become an issue in that marriage at some point, unless he lands this Fox deal that he's working on or something where he's making boatloads of money. But no one's interested in what DeSantis has to say when he leaves. He betrayed us.
Yeah, he did, because I thought he was a decent guy.
So did Trump.
Yeah, and even to this day now, I don't see him coming out in public and representing Trump and saying that I'm not going to let these people from New York take him out of Florida. I haven't heard anything.
No, and they did a few weeks ago. Trump and DeSantis did meet here in Florida in private, and Trump said a nice thing about him on True Social or something. But I don't see DeSantis at these events with the president.
No, and he hasn't even gotten on the news.
And exactly, and like tonight, President Trump is having the big birthday celebration here in Palm Beach. Okay, and it's open to the public. Is DeSantis going to be there? Well, I'm not saying. But is DeSantis going to be on the stage introducing him? I would, you know, I'm open to forgiving DeSantis, but he's got to give us something. And he's not.
But we still don't want him for president.
Never can trust that man. All right, appreciate the call, Roz. Take care. All right, we'll take our break and be back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals ending out the week?
Metals looking real good. Strong on today after being down yesterday, as we still continue to see this back and forth action of gold holding around $2,300 the ounce on the support side and moving back up and forth to between $2,300 and $2,350. Yesterday we saw gold pull back to $20.60, closing out the day at $2,303.90. The high for the day was $23.27. Silver closed down 81 cents at $28.92.
One of the peacocks just came out.
First time we've seen it under $29 for a while. Platinum was down $8 at $9.51, and palladium was down $17 at $8.74. As we've been seeing in the past, you see the $20 down one day, $25 back up the next day, and that's where we are today. Gold trading in a range of $2,301 to $2,337 overnight, and right now we're at $2,329.60.
Wow.
Up $25. Silver up 23 cents, back over that $29 at $29.15 the ounce. Platinum down $7 at $9.44, and palladium up $6 at $880 the ounce. So the market looking very good, still giving us opportunity at the lower end of the trading ranges on all the metals. So you can take advantage of these prices, even though we're up $25.
Sure. Absolutely. Now, you were talking a week or two ago that there was that you had some really good deals on pre-33 gold. Is that still the case? Is that still a good buy?
Absolutely. Pre-33 gold is at the lowest premiums they've ever traded at, and I've been doing this for 60 years, and I haven't seen U.S. $20 gold pieces selling for these low premiums. And they're excellent values if people are prone towards wanting to get some beautiful old U.S. coinage from prior to 1933. Wonderful.
Really? That's amazing to hear, guys. And I know a lot of people are pretty exclusive with pre-33 gold because it's, you know, it's fun, it's collectible, and it's a lot. It's been circulated. There's all kinds of great things about pre-33 gold, and for it to be at these low prices, it's a great time. All right, listen. William Youngman opens up at 10 a.m. His number is toll free 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. If you go to his website, you can get both the address and the phone number if you missed it, WilliamYoungerman.com. That's WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk on Monday.
Okay, have a great weekend.
All right, we'll be right back.
The social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is...
All righty, the phones are ringing. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to take a moment to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. And, you know, Joe Thomas, he's got these great offers that are totally free. Of course, you can call his office, and he'll send you a free copy of his book, The Retirement Know-It-All. I've read this book. It's a great book. It's a quick and easy to understand read filled with actionable advice from his over 30 years of experience in the retirement business. And you can get that book for free. But he's also offering free phone consultations. And no matter where you're located in America, you can take advantage of this free phone consultation. If you're already retired or plan on retiring at any point in the future, whether it's 20 years or 20 days, give him a call and talk to him about annuities. You know, with annuities, you're not risking your money. Your money is safe, like the total opposite of the stock market. And you can generate income and have a revenue stream in your retirement. Give him a call. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And if you missed the number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. And at jupiterjoe.com, you'll find the number. All right, back to our phones. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Never Trumper Steve here in Martin County. How you doing this morning?
All right. What's up?
Okay, I think you'd agree with this comment, maybe the only comment you'll agree with that I would make now, is that Trump pretty much says what's on his mind. Does that sound like something you'd agree with?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, here, what is this, the setup? You're walking me down the garden path? You're trying to be a radio host? Let's go. Yes, he speaks his mind. He speaks his truth. All right, next step, walk me down. He's going to humiliate me, guys. That was the setup.
No, I'm not actually, but and I didn't catch your show at the very beginning.
Shame on you.
Well, it's 3 hours. Give me a little bit of a...
3 hours, the fastest, most informative 3 hours of your life. But anyway, go on.
Okay, well, let's see. Because when Richie called in, we talked about the bleach comment that he made at one of his press conferences at the White House.
I have not touched the phones. Never Trumper Steve's phone. He just hit the mute on his phone. I don't want people to think I hung up on him because he mentioned the bleach thing. And I'll talk to give him a moment to put him back. And then if he's not back, I'll put that line on hold. But Never Trumper Steve has obviously hit the mute function on his phone, and he doesn't know it, and he's still talking. Okay? But the bleach, there's some type... What Richie said was not exactly true about the bleach, but I didn't feel like getting sidetracked into that discussion. There's a medical treatment, some type of treatment that Dr. Birx told Trump about that involves some type of bleaching of the blood. It's not like Clorox bleach that I whiten my socks with. That's what he was referencing. Now, Steve, have you unmuted your phone? Okay, I want people to know I have not touched the phones. Never Trumper Steve from Martin County obviously has hit the mute, probably with his cheek or chin or something on his iPhone. I'm going to put him on hold, and we'll check back with him, okay? I don't want anyone to think I discontinued the call because he had me on Trump. That's never going to happen. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, now the line went dead. So now Never Trumper Steve, you can call back. There's an opening. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, this is JJ from Ask. Good morning, Brian.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay. I wanted to wish our best president we've ever had, Donald J. Trump, the best birthday ever, Mr. President. Sir, listen, for your sacrifice and all that you're going through, just know that we got your back, your front, your side. We're all around you, and we love you very much for what you're doing. And again, the happiest of birthday, and prayers for for everyone involved around you, sir. With that, Brian, I wanted to mention that import tax you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to, I remember this. I'm not a history major, but I've read a lot about a lot of different things. But the import tax, I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day. They were like, what? And I was just telling them, it's sort of like, why do bank robbers rob banks? It's because that's where the money is. And why do people want to sell their products in our country? It's because it's where the money is. And, it's just like when I was younger, I had a little business with a buddy of mine, a closeout business. And we used to sell stuff at flea markets. And even in Florida, I sold stuff there. And when you go into those big flea markets, you don't just get to walk in there and sell your stuff for nothing. You have to pay, for your space, and then you get to sell.
Yeah.
And that's the way it used to work in our country. And I think, quite frankly, why did we come up with this income tax? Every which way the government can find a way into.
Listen, the government. Okay, do you remember the Matrix? You remember the Matrix movie? In the Matrix, the people were in those tubs of goo, and what they used their body heat as batteries to power the Matrix. Right? They were just batteries. Right? What the government, they view us people. We are living organisms that excrete money, so that they can take it. And that's all we are to them. Exactly. Now, this thing about the tariffs, which, by the way, I was talking about Monday. President Trump was talking about it yesterday. The entire government, this is a consumer economy. So everybody wants to bring their stuff here because we buy everything. The entire government used to be funded with import taxes, with tariffs. The most powerful person in government back then was the head of the New York City Port Authority, because that was the main port where everything came in back then. So there's tons of money there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just for people. Some people just say we have kids right now that don't know, from the river to the sea. They don't know the sea. They just know they want the Jews pushed into it. That's all they know. Yeah. That's true. I didn't think about that. Ask them which river and which sea. That's a good question. I like that. Before you go, I want to go back. I think it was Wednesday. You were talking about should you accept calls from liberals?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to thank you for a very clean kitchen counter and a kitchen floor at my house. Because I was taking a sip of coffee when you said Groot. I am Groot. I can't remember the call.
Yes.
But I lost it. I drank a little bit of coffee as you said that. I laughed. It went the wrong way. I lost the coffee all over the counter, all over the floor. My dog was loving it, lapping up the coffee.
Oh, yeah, great. Yeah. No, that was funny. Yes, that was a good one. You have to know Guardians of the Galaxy to get that. But appreciate the call. Take care. All right, let's go. You're on the air. I'm waiting for Never Trumper Steve to call back. He had me on the ropes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mike from Arkansas.
Hey, Mike. What's up?
And, I'd like to wish President Trump a happy birthday. And I got to looking, he's just 8 months older than I am. It makes me want to wish I'd take better care of myself. Because I can't. There's no way in the world I can do what he's doing.
When he does his weekend rallies, I'm tired just watching them. I don't know how he does it. And he goes from state to state. He's got this thing tonight. Tomorrow he's going to be in, where's tomorrow? Is it Detroit tomorrow or St. Louis? I've lost track. I don't know how he does it.
I don't either. But I've got got another piece on voting rights. I think 18 is too vote. I think you ought to raise the age to 21 because you have to be 21 to buy a pack of cigarettes or buy a beer.
Yeah, I think it's only 18 to buy cigarettes, but I think the voting, it should be really, you're not, oh really? You're not really an adult until you're 40. I've learned as I've gotten older. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. I'm almost out of time, so sorry to cut you short. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Ivan from the Bronx. How are you?
Hey, Ivan, what's up?
Hey, I do believe that Biden's campaign is on life support. I do agree with that. I also believe that he's going to drop out. I also think that Kamala is not going to pick Newsom like you think. I think she's going to pick that guy, Hakeem Jeffries.
No. They're going to pass her. If they do that, she's getting passed over. She's not going to be the nominee. No, there's no scenario where Kamala's the nominee. No scenario. She's out.
I got a feeling that's how it's going to be. They're going to run the race card. Also, I wanted to push back on you a little bit because
we only got 10 seconds. Almost out of time, so go ahead.
Vivek Ramaswamy, he's the guy for VP.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. He's doing some good advising media-wise, but I don't trust Soros fellows. All right, I'm out of time, but thanks for calling. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back Monday morning at 6 a.m. We're out of time for today. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. See you Monday.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar.
All right, guys, now listen. Make sure you like the video, okay? Please like the video. If you're new, subscribe, okay? Thanks for watching. Great show today. Great calls.